I really want us to get to level 2 because I get to reroll.
It could have one-shot anyone. That thing had a D10? Yeah.
I'm not sure if you die
immediately if you go below 0. It couldn't one-shot me.
Do you have higher than 10?
It could kill me.
Yeah, but then you could survive it. Yeah. So
it couldn't actually one-shot me.
A fatal wound that you survived that others couldn't.
Yes.
Who wants to do? Normally I'd say last week's recap, but who wants to do 3 days ago recap?
I volunteer.
Okay, you're the tribute.
I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah.
Okay, so last session, we picked up as we were getting ready to search the final part of the ship. The Rhinos came down it. And Lord Keeper made a really, really good climb check with Nat 6, with Nat 12 to climb up. The other members of the group were less fortunate. I believe it was Raker who began to fall but caught her. And they went up. Brett originally was sort of in charge of this attempt to go in, but he then decided that he didn't want to climb. So he stayed on the ground.
That was 2 hit points. I'm not botching a physical check.
I
will just say this as an aside, temporary aside from recapping. I like Bress, the character, because he's a fun character to have in the group with some of the other dynamics we have. Like, so far the Lord Keeper and Bress have gotten on great, despite the fact that I think that really they're very opposed to each other in terms of like how they think, but they've arrived at similar conclusions.
Foils.
I just think it's funny. But anyway, so moving on. The Lord Keeper got inside, and he was followed up by Ivan, Shen, and Reka. He got up, made his way in carefully. First man, who had been mauled by lockjaws, including he referred to as the big one. The Lord Keeper referred to as the big one, the alpha lockjaw, because it had clearly taken some much bigger bites. And he didn't see an alpha lockjaw corpse, so he thought it was still out there. And then he did take the broken rebreather from that man. He doesn't have it. And then he moved on with a navigation check, making his way up, and he checked the other man, who looked like been killed by something weird. None of us were really sure what weirdness killed him. Lord Keeper thinks that maybe he had poison in his eating thing. Was the Lord Keeper's thought? Whether it's right, wrong, who knows? That was Lord Keeper's thought. Lord Keeper then made his way back even farther. Found the ash. And he could not fit in the ash. Was no way in hell he was going to fit in the ash. He didn't fit very well with the ship to begin with. Yeah, so Reka gets past him and goes to the back, climbs down into this hatch. And Reka finds some wires and some control stuff, what looks like engines. It looks like there was some interesting construction with the engines, having the fuel and the engine right next to each other in the same chamber, which was an adventure. She wanted to try to get this box open, the control panel. So she tried, she broke her crowbar. Which was kind of funny. Broke her crowbar, and then she proceeded to call up, and Ivan went down. The Lord Keeper had said she should just come back up, but she didn't do that. Ivan went down, and Ivan was able to pull it off. Reka pulled out some wires, and then Ivan started coughing up blood. And then Reka tried to cover his mouth with her hand. And then that, Ivan proceeded to go back up. Rhaegar proceeded to do some climbing. Didn't really find much, just with some climbing up, around, and back down. Then went back, and then eventually came back up. Ivan and Wushen failed physical effect saves. After that, and then there was some comments about some weird smell, like bad air, gas, that Wushen identified. And the Keeper had just somehow managed to be fine, because the Lord Keeper has the constitution of a bear. and so they left the wreckage. And while that was going on, Ashley, for some reason I thought your character, I couldn't remember if your character's name was Alice or Ashley. Ashley was searching the ship, trying to find some like scrap or wreckage that was usable for something, and she did manage to find one piece, not nearly the haul we'd found before, but at least it was something. And Lord Keeper assisted everybody in getting off the plateau so that we could get out of here. And he flew up real high as well at the end. And his bird's eye view, looking down at the world, seeing that there was a lot of potential people we didn't want to run into coming. So led the group forth in the direction of the nearest enclave that he knew about, and we did a forced march. Most people failed their save and were fatigued, and so need a bunch of rest. Lord Keeper was tired, but he's still okay. Get to this old arena. Lord Keeper doesn't know about this place. He was able to locate it because he found like tracks. Actually knew something about this place because I think she like visited it in the past, back before the Scream. And so we get in there, we get to it, and we discover sick. The Danger Noodle. Giant camelback Danger Noodle. Known for their ability to eat camels, but also unusually large. They're also unusual for this area. Lord Keeper knew, because this is not a common creature around here. More common here than it is where he's from. But it's also not common here. And so we find this camelback, and we engaged in glorious combat with the camelback. A lot of whiffed ranged attacks. Ashley did manage to hit it with her blaster. Pew. It moved forward and bit the Lord Keeper because it rolled well and it had a good attack modifier. The Lord Keeper then proceeded to pull out his ancestral battle cry and slice its head off. Then he took it apart. Got some level 0 scrap or spare parts and some food. And then we moved into the racetrack itself. And we were sort of in the entryway of the stadium, and the Lord Keeper was on his way to check out the restrooms, because always check the restrooms. Surprising amount of stuff in there. It's part of like the Wasteland Night scavenging 101. Always check the restrooms. And so he's gonna check those. I like that Jacob's just cracking up. Always check the restrooms. So he's going over there to check those. Bress and Ashley both, I believe, were looking for a potential like manager's office. And Ashley was looking for like maintenance stuff. Bress was looking for a maintenance for the manager's office. And I believe that most of the NPCs were starting to sort of in the corner to get themselves sort of situated in rest at this point. And that's where we left off.
Yeah, there's a few things I'm going to tweak about that, but I think it was really good. How does everyone else feel about it?
I thought so. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay,
Awesome, I get my point back. But please tell me, what did I get wrong? I'm curious.
Well, it's not all stuff that got. You didn't. I'm not gonna say you got anything wrong. You didn't say anything that wasn't true. John, as soon as you left and we had to do a physical effects save for you when we did the forced march, you failed a physical effects save. So I wish
You made all the way here, though, man.
I wish you would have stuck around so that you could have succeeded that save.
Because your dice were running hot
for those physical effects saves.
before
this.
That was the time when I failed. That was going to go kind of bad when you're fatigued along with pretty much everybody else, but yeah.
Being fatigued's only real effect, according to the book, as far as we can tell, is that you can't force march, and you need a day's rest to remove it. So,
It's not too bad.
No. A couple other things need slight adjustments or to be mentioned. Bress is going to look for some kind of managerial office. And Rika and Ashley are going to look for like an access tunnel. Something like that. And I'm I love that the book for the Wasteland Nights includes check the restrooms. Makes sense, but still, I love that someone had to write that down. What? There was another thing.
There's a lot of things like that that are just sort of common sense.
just do this thing.
Yeah. You gotta put that kind of stuff in, because there's idiots that you'll have like squiring to a wasteland night, and if they didn't read this fucking manual, they wouldn't check the goddamn restrooms.
Yep.
They'd just be like, there's nobody in there. Don't worry about it. Just go down the main hall. It'll all be fine.
Yep. So he's checking the restrooms. He's checking the men's room first. Then the women's room.
That's fair.
Then the family restroom that's probably in the middle with the thing for the babies.
Nah.
Okay,
No, we'll find out in a minute. We'll find out. And I did want to put an emphasis on the speed of this combat, because this all happened in like a matter of seconds. There was like a 30-second period where there was proper prep time for this, followed by like less than 10 seconds of combat.
It was less than a round.
Yeah.
The snake died in round 1.
It made its turn, and then I killed it.
Yeah, charged the Lord Keeper after getting shot by Ashley, and then the Lord Keeper just chopped its head off with his sword. It was all very quick, and that's, generally speaking, that's how combat's going to be in these games. So I just want to reinforce, it's really common for OSR games like this to have quick combat that's decided very quickly, unless it's a big battle where you're very evenly matched. Normally it's going to be one side dies/gives up before the other very quickly.
I'm guessing this is
also the kind of system where it's fairly easy for characters to die.
The thing you fought wasn't even an apex predator, and it has a D10 for its damage die. If he rolled high enough, he could have killed any one of you. Thank God he didn't. He rolled a 2 on that D10. A fucking 2. Good thing you didn't hit Bress. Bress would have just keeled over. You hit Bress with a wet noodle and he died.
Turn into a red man.
We like broke as you guys went to go check those things out, because Will had to step away to go watch The Matrix, which I heard was okay, which leads to me being less interested in it. I was interested because it was divisive. Now I'm hearing it's not divisive.
It's a bit slow. Let me say that.
It's fair. Fuck, I don't know. Who are we gonna go with first? Let's do Bress's stuff first. I think that's who we talked about at the end of last session.
No?
Okay. Is there anywhere in particular that you're gonna go look for this potential office of yours?
I mean, the thought is it would probably be in the front area near where like most of the guests are, so maybe like behind like the ticket stand or something.
Okay. Yeah. You start walking around the ticket stand, and it's pretty big because this is like Coliseum that's meant to service like a few thousand people. So we're talking like a couple dozen rows. Most of which are like closed off. They have like glass and metal windows and kind of walls to block you from just being able to get in over the counter, you know, or presumably to try and rob the person on the other end. But you walk around to one of the far sides. Remember, there's two corridors that seem to meet on the back end past the concession stand that you have here in the bathroom, and then the ticket booths that you're in front of right now, Bress. And you walk to the far end. You guys are close to the concession stand anyways. So you walk to the far end there, and you see that there is a door there. That slightly ajar. It opens inwards. I don't really have any other setup besides that.
And yeah, you'll push open the door and have a look inside.
Okay. Yeah, you open it up, and just for the sake of it, throw a just general perception check out there when you come in. You see multiple chairs. Each one of these different booths has a chair. It's more of a bar stool based on the height. And it looks like they're all bolted down, but you see like three of them on the opposite end have all been like knocked over on the ground. Let's see that perception check. Did that load for you guys?
Yeah, it loaded for me.
Okay, it just loaded for me as well. Okay, 10. Nice. And you actually do maybe surprisingly see like hundreds of these tickets in a bunch of different states of disrepair. It looks like a lot of them have taken water damage or just stuck to the ground. Were just eaten up by different bugs all over the floor. And you can see that there are like reels of them next to each one of these booths. As well as drawers in front of all of them, and two cabinets for every 6 people that are back here. So there's like 8 cabinets total that you can see back here. And almost all of them have been open, just left hanging open. And you do see 2 different doors evenly spaced next to these cabinets, one closer to you and one on the far end. By the other door you can see on the opposite end of this room, and it looks like there are 2 piles of debris, one which looks like a collected pile of debris, like a bunch of trash and other random bits that look like they belong in here, all put up in between, actually pretty central to the room, in between the 2 different doors that you can see that, you know, lead inwards as opposed to out of the ticket booth. And another pile of debris on the opposite end by those knockdown chairs I talked about, which you can tell is from part of the ceiling falling down. That seems to have been what has adjusted the positioning of the chairs. A big chunk of the ceiling has fallen down and lifted up part of the floor, which has given the chairs the ability to topple over.
Okay.
That's what I have for you.
Does it look safe to traverse the room? As long as you don't get too near to where like the floor is buckled a little bit, or?
Yeah. There isn't anything here. I mean, obviously, the debris you're seeing is on the opposite end of the room, so until you get closer, I won't give you any information for that. but it doesn't seem like there's any hazards on the floor. You're not worried about anything falling in front of you.
Alright. Can you check the door closest to it now?
Okay. Yeah. You go up to the door and you actually see that there is a not a proper just like hand latch that you'd normally have. It looks like you're actually just supposed to push or pull it. Looks like it actually pushes inwards, like away from you. And there's a small box on top of it, no bigger than like it's actually probably kind of big. It's probably like a Rubik's cube. And it has like a black interface on the front of it. And you can vaguely see like a bunch of fingerprints on it.
Okay. I mean, the power's been off for a long time. Who knows? If he tries the door, is it locked, or can he open it?
Yeah. You try opening it, and it's a little tough. You can feel like a lock holding you back, and you just shake it a little bit more, trying to open it, and you hear the sound of the wood on the other end snapping. And when you open the door, you can see the lock still engaged. You've just broken part of this old door.
Well, open the door and look inside. What's in the door?
Yeah, you actually see 2 desks that are separated by a glass wall. They're open to you, both of which have some fake plants, which you've probably seen before, but not as big as these. These look like small palm trees. You've probably never seen those before. As well, and they look almost completely identical. They each have L-shaped desks in them, with 1 file cabinet apiece, exact same trash cans, both with just random shit in them. With the exception being the thing that makes these stand apart is one of these chairs is like an old, you can kind of see it lopsided, this old broken wooden chair with some padding on it, and then another chair which is slightly higher, and it has a metal frame and some like black leather padding on it. And that's the office that's farther away from you. They're both on the left-hand side, if that matters.
All right. And you can't actually reach that office from this room, right? There's like a glass panel separating it?
No, the panel just separates the 2 offices from each other. They're both open and exposed to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, he wants to search the desk of the one with the nice chair first.
Okay. Yeah.
See if there's anything worthwhile there.
Give me some perception checks as you're scavenging. Just one. One perception check is fine. Oof. Okay. Yeah, as you start going through the desk, you actually are able to find some stuff in here. You find a tech level 2 toolkit. That actually give me a D6 real quick. This is the only thing I'm gonna ask. I set up the loot in advance for this place, so I don't need to. I'm not gonna have you guys roll, and we're gonna see if we like that more. Okay. It's not as in good of a condition as we've had in the past. Like, so far you guys haven't found anything that's properly beat up. I just need to find the condition table to find the actual term for it. Does anyone remember where the... Oh, okay, yep, I found it. These are... this is a moderately damaged tech level 2 toolkit. Maybe just for the sake of like not having to have you guys spell out a bunch of shit every time I tell you the level, do we just want to use like numbers in place of the actual names? What's your guys' preference?
Instead of the names for tech levels?
No, for the equipment condition. because there's different conditions you can get items in. So there.
I'd rather just have us write out the thing personally.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. If that's what people are down with, then just put a tech level 2 toolkit, and then just comma after that moderately damaged. So moderately damaged, if it's a weapon, you get a -2 to hit and damage. If it's something that you use skill checks for, this toolkit, you get a -1 on all skill checks to use it. And every time you use this item, there's a 1 in 5 chance of it failing. So you roll a d10 and a 1 or 2, it breaks.
Oh,
But this does let you make some goods that you otherwise wouldn't be able to.
very nice. Well, with that desk search, he's going to search the other desk, and I guess the rest of the room, this is paying off so far.
Okay. Why don't we just let's do a perception check for the next office. Or for the office you're in right now. The office with the nicer leather chair. See if you can find something. And I'm following the train of logic this book provides, which is what I like, which is like, if I say I'm gonna go check out that place, I'm gonna find the stuff in that place, unless there's a really good reason for me not to.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna thoroughly search this thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the rest of this office looks like it's been picked, which probably isn't, even for someone from Luna, probably isn't unfamiliar. Let's do the last office. Just do that whole office itself, like you said. One more perception check. Nice. Yeah, you find a fire starter in here. It looks like someone was trying to use parts of this broken desk and chair to start a fire underneath it.
Okay.
Clearly they failed, but the fire starter seems to be working.
Hey, it means we can barbecue that snake.
That's true.
Harvested.
And just in case no one knows what a fire starter is, I'll throw it out real quick. I kind of want to skip all the boring parts of this, but it's kind of not that exciting. These small devices range from purpose-built Old Terran camping implements to scrap-rigged fire pistons and waxed phosphor matches. All of them create a small, fiercely burning flame capable of igniting most flammable material in one round. TL4 versions will function indefinitely, while TL2 models are expended after 20 uses. This is a TL2 model. That's why I didn't specify what it was. Because I'm not going to waste paper space when it's just the default. And why don't you roll me a D12. Okay, nice. We will say that it has 14 charges left. And I'm gonna go with this as like a scrap-built flippo lighter.
Oh, click.
Yep. And that's what you're able to find in there. And before we go any further with that, we will hop over to the restrooms.
Woo! Check the bathrooms.
Let's go check out. How many games have you played where the bathrooms are important? Hopefully quite a few.
How often the bathrooms actually come up.
The toilets have snakes in them.
When you, I mean, it's only a snake, But, you know, generally speaking, if you go into like the layer of something, it needs a restroom. I know this is literally a restroom, but still.
He's
He's also checking because these are the rooms that are closest to where the rest of the group is bedding down, and they need to be checked first.
Yeah, the good thing that ticket stand is being checked. Check the restrooms, and then it'd probably be smart to check the I can't even think of the
Concession stand?
concession stand. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I kept
Yeah,
wanting
I
to say
think that's
condiment
like the-
stand, and that's not correct.
I think that is the thing that
The Lord Keeper probably would go to next, because he's checking the restrooms if they're right by where people are setting up, and then he's probably going to check them. But first, let's start with where we are.
Yeah, restrooms. I wanted to check. John, is Rika literate?
Oh,
Well, it's the culture literacy skill.
nope.
Okay, so you're the only person who's not literate in the party.
In a way, that seems fitting.
She's also the one who has like the most unreliable information.
That's true. That is true.
Which is funny, given one of the people is,
Well, we'll find out.
Man, you should just try your best.
Okay, which restroom did you want to go into first? I will make a note that the men's restroom's door is busted down,
definitely
inwards.
gonna check that one first.
Okay. Yeah, you walk up towards the door and you can see that the hinges themselves, the locking mechanism for them has been taken out. So they're not there anymore. That's why it fell over.
Okay.
And you go in and you'll see like a dozen bathroom stalls and just as many urinals. The door are closed on 4 of those stalls, spread out. And the bathroom closest to you, as you like walk in, the first one you see, the toilet, the right front half of it has been shattered. You see the remains on the ground, and you see that it's covered in blood. But there's no body.
Okay.
So, can he roll survival to get an idea how old the blood is?
Yeah, I think survival would be appropriate for that.
Oh,
You want me to not name the skin?
Right.
I would prefer you didn't, but it's already happened, so we'll go with it.
It's an 11.
Okay. Yeah, the blood does not seem fresh. It's you know, it's been around for a while.
Okay.
Months at least.
Okay.
So it's a very old, dry, encrusted blood stain from a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I said,
Alright.
like at least months ago. It's not recent.
Okay. Yeah.
So he takes that in. Yeah.
The top
Off the toilet.
Yeah, there's nothing inside the top of this toilet. There isn't even water.
Okay.
Yeah, this toilet is broken as hell.
Okay.
Yeah, so he would take the top of the water container off, look in there, put it back down.
That's fair. Actually, knowing where this is from, you probably can't take the top off. I don't think you can, now that I'm thinking about it. We're past that. We're 600 years past that. We have self-sufficient toilets. I don't know how it works, but it's the future.
Hey, where they hide all the good stuff.
That's where drug dealers and fucking crackheads hide all their good stuff.
Yeah.
And really paranoid mercenaries named the Punisher.
Yeah. Okay, so there's no top to take off the toilet. Okay.
No. No.
Fine.
the part where we
You
find
don't
out?
take top off the toilet.
This is the
Part where we learned that the Lord Keeper is secretly a crackhead.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he calls himself the Lord Keeper.
Where did these races come from?
Yeah.
just takes psycho.
He's scratching himself now. He's not looking good.
When did his voice got so rough?
Right? Yeah. That's actually what it's called. That's not the name of the specific weed. It's just all called wasteland weed.
Yeah. Okay. So
he looks in that first stall.
He's gonna go to the next stall.
And now that you've like come past the first stall, because for some fucking reason you can see this first stall when you first come in the door. It's one of those restrooms. I don't know why they fucking exist, but they do. You come around and you can see that there are 8 sinks with mirrors in front of them. The first 2 closest are cracked, and it looks like there's a major impact point on the lower center of the mirror closest to you, and there's a minor impact point slightly higher than that on the left side of the mirror closest to the one I just described. You also see parts of the sink closest to you is also broken off, and you see it like 5 meters away, kind of in between the toilets and the sinks. Looks like it's been thrown. It's all shattered into a bunch of pieces.
Alright.
Keeper is getting the impression that a fairly knocked out, drag out fight with something happened in here based on the clear impact points in both one that looks like a fatal wound was dealt when someone or something was slammed into the toilet, busted up the toilet, and the impacts and the ripped pieces. That's what he's currently thinking. But he's going to go and he's going to take a look at the mirrors and try to figure out, if he can, what hit them. Like if the impact was like someone shot the mirror, or if just like something whacked into it.
Okay.
Mostly he's looking to see if there's like some sort of like clear like bullet hole type situation. Like, now we got shot.
No, it's a much broader impact than that. I'd say probably like a mixing bowl sized impact for the main impact, and then maybe like the tip of a baseball bat for the mirror that's only slightly smashed.
Okay,
so something slammed into it is what it looks like.
Yes.
Looks like something
Like someone or something got whacked into it in some way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Alright. Take out one of his things of water that he would normally have water in, the empty ones. Used to collect water. He's gonna turn on the sink and hold it under there and see if it.
Okay, yeah, you turn on the sink and you actually do see some water come out. The pressure's not great, but water does begin to come out.
He would collect water.
Okay. I'm gonna assume you have enough containers for it. And you're able to get 2 rations of water.
Okay.
I think there's actually a way for you to tell the quality of the water, but I don't know where it says that.
I know that normally
You're able to tell the quality of food, for example. So I guess you'd probably be able to tell the quality of water too, unless you have that specific issue that says you can't.
Well, I'm just assuming since you have
I'm
I'm also good at survival.
yeah. Until I know otherwise, I will just tell you that there are 2 dirty rations of water. That's actually interesting. I can't actually recall if they ever bring up keeping track of dirty or clean water outside of like really fucked up places. But I'm gonna assume they're gonna be dirty and clean in this game either way, because that's what makes sense to me.
Okay. Yeah,
So he gets the two things of dirty water. Any water is better than no water.
Definitely.
Lack of water kills. They kill quick.
He's not going to turn the other sinks because I'm not sure he has any. I don't think he has an infinite number of containers. I think that probably saying he has the containers for like 5 days water is probably as many as he would have.
Yep, that seems fair to me. Yeah, you guys don't have infinite containers. I'll start handing them out occasionally if you want to hold on to them.
I was just,
so I was just, thinking that probably really topped up his supplies with what he found here in there. He's not going to do the others. Well, I'll get to that later, because that's later. So now that he's checked that sink, he's going to go and he's going to check each stall one by one.
Okay. Just give me just give me a perception check across the board.
Sure.
Lord Keeper book.
It's a 7.
That's not
horrible.
Okay. Yeah, when you get down to like the very last stall, it's one of the ones with a closed door, and you open it up, and opposite of you is a crowbar sitting on top of the toilet. Looks like it's fallen. You can see like a slight impact on the toilet seat itself, where the crowbar is like kind of next to now, not directly on top of. And in front of you, in black, very dark black writing, you actually see what looks like a large four-fingered claw, with 3 of them stretching outwards towards the top and 1 stretching back, and it's all outlined in a circle. And above it, it says Pact.
Pact?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, first thing he's gonna do is gonna pick up the crowbar.
Okay.
Second thing he's going to do is he's going to inspect the symbol. Try to get a feel for if he knows anything about this. Does he recognize it? I don't. My guess is that he's not, because of the fact that this is far from the Wasteland Knights' stomping grounds, and it seems like some sort of symbol, but it's possible. So what would I roll?
Give me a history or religion. I think both of those could say some different things about it.
Okay, I have history, and I actually trained in history.
Nice.
Those old stories. And he's now the Lord Keeper. He keeps the stories. He rolled a 10.
Okay, nice. So you don't know anything about a pact, but you do know about the symbology here. This symbol here actually used to be the symbol of pre-Scream strike force, basically the version of the secret police that they had on Terra, but before the Scream came and destroyed everything.
Oh, okay. So this symbol of Cursor Knights.
Of the SS.
Hey, man. They were
Law enforcement.
They were enforcing laws. That is true.
War Knights.
They probably had really nice outfits. I imagine they did. They're very sleek.
So, how old does this look? This rating.
The same age as the blood you saw before. It's actually, now that you're thinking about it, it's probably the same blood.
So this is written in blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd need a lot of blood to write this, though.
Probably the person or thing the blood is from. The Lord Keeper assumed they were dead after seeing the shattered toilet seat, the shattered toilet bowl with the all over it. But yeah, okay. So he took the crowbar. He's gonna make a note of this. Make a note that he's gonna want to have everybody search this place that he's gonna want to make sure this place gets searched real thoroughly, because there could be relics of old world knight armor, weapons.
Nice.
Because
They have. Okay, Jacob, just to check, because this is out of character question. It's not in character question.
Okay.
Harmony armor. Harmony thing. Is that what they were? Because they were the pre-war police stuff? That's what that armor and stuff is?
It would be like, with that out of character knowledge, it would be adjacent to that. In the same category, but not the same group.
Okay, so it's not the same. Okay, because that's important, because that's like what he has blueprints for, and what like the best of the Wasteland Knight armors and stuff were based off of, was this pre-war law enforcement harmony stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought this symbol might be related to that, and so I thought that he might equate.
Imagine them as they're all underneath the same umbrella.
Okay.
They're just different. They're just different extensions of the same force.
Okay, so I think that he would think of this as pre-war knights,
That's fair.
and that this might.
It's like the FBI and the CIA. There's a lot of people that don't actually know the differences between them. Something like that, where they're under the same umbrella. They do a lot of the same things, but they're here for different reasons.
Okay, so yeah, he makes a note of this, and he thinks because the symbol just shown up here, it's possible that there might be some pre-war knight or stash or something here. So he's going to make sure to bring that up to the others, that there might be some things worth hunting down here, and he's going to pick up the crowbar. He's gonna check the trash cans in the bathroom, if there are trash cans.
Yeah. You're not gonna find anything in the trash cans. I'll let you know right now.
Well, he's gonna check it, and then he'll go to the next one, the women's room.
Okay. You hop over to the woman's room, and the door's jammed.
Fortunate. What are ways that he could reasonably get the door open? He's gonna use the crowbar to pry it open.
That is true. You could use the crowbar.
He's gonna use the crowbar to pry it open.
Give me just strength. Give me athletics check. Give me an athletics.
Get the +1 for crowbar, like we've done before.
Yeah, I'll give you a +1 for this.
Okay.
Don't roll a 2.
That's a 9.
Okay. You manage to open the door a teeny bit, and you can actually hear the sounds of large objects being pushed back as you're applying force to this initially. And you open it up enough so you have about 2 inches worth of vision into this room, and you can see that there's a large pile of rubble that you've like barely been able to push back just a little bit.
Okay. It's collapsed.
Yeah.
What it appears.
It's definitely it looks like the ceiling and part of the wall that divides so you can't see just into the whole ladies' room has collapsed towards the door.
Okay, so the Lord Keeper is satisfied with that it means there's not going to be something hostile that comes out of there, attacks the people. And so he's going to remove his crowbar and sort of let it shut again. And
you can hear the sound of the debris resting back in place once you let go.
Yeah.
so he's then going to go over to a couple of the survivor group. Specifically, I think specifically with Shed, since he's gotten on well with him.
Yeah. Since you've gone down there, you see that a lot of these people have found a nice little spot in the corner, closer to the restrooms, closer to you. And quite a few of them at this point are actually like asleep, either on the floor or leaning on some of the debris or one of the walls. Washen is one of the few people that is actually still up, and he's actually up on his feet, kind of just standing off closer to the door, the main entrance than anyone else. But when you come out, you see him start walking towards you.
Yeah, so right, check the bathrooms. Shouldn't be any problems. It's like there was a fight in the men's room, but months ago. There is some water there. The sinks have some fresh water. So you and others can potentially get some water from there. It's not the best water, but in this situation, we need to use everything we can find. So need water. You can let the others know there's water in the bathroom. And I'm going to be checking the concession stand here. Well, I'm going to be checking. Point to the other thing. It says concession stand. It says concession stand. He says, I'm going to be checking the concession stand. Next.
Yeah, it probably says like White Rhinos Food Emporium.
Okay. I'm going to be checking White Rhinos Food Emporium next. There. If you need anything, feel free to call out. I think that some of the others seem to listen to you more than they listen to me. So if you can try to get a couple of the others to at least someone stands watch, because it's not a good idea to have everybody asleep. Be great. And I will see if I can find any food. Hopefully, at least I know at least some of you have some provisions, but you can find some more food. You guys, get you guys back on your feet.
There isn't much between all of us. No more to last than another day, if everyone's willing to share. But I will make sure I talk to a few of the people here, ones that have enough strength to wait a little bit longer before they rest. And we will make sure that this group is as safe as we can be until you return.
Alright. The Keeper is actually going to take out, has 3 rations. He's going to take out 3 rations. Actually, he has 3 rations. He has 5. He's going to take out the 5 rations that he has.
Okay.
Food rations.
Okay.
Going to give them to Wish. Right. This is what I have. I don't need food. This is what I do. So, these. Distribute them out to the others. Try to make it last as best you can. I'll see what else I can find.
Lord Keeper, my people, we aren't going to starve, and I'm not going to ask one of the few people here willing to fight to give everything they have. Please, hold on to what you need.
I don't need it. Don't eat the same way you do.
He gives you a little bit of a confused look, and he's like, I don't eat as much as most people do, but I still need to eat. Like gestures towards you.
take these and I'll hold on to this one. It'll last me a while. He keeps one of the clean ones. Oh no, he wouldn't. He'd keep one of the dirty. He'll keep the dirty, uncooked snake meat that he's going to cook later. He hasn't gotten that set yet. He'll keep that one.
That's fair.
He'll give the stuff that's ready and edible. I'm like, what would he know? He would give the clean ones.
Are they all clean?
And three are clean.
Okay.
One is the dirty ration that he scavenged off of the dead Lunite at the crash site.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah.
And
You hand them to Washen. He says, "Thank you very much, Lord Keeper. I will pass those rations out to the people in most need."
Man, you seem to have been extend trust. I appreciate that. What else I can find for you guys?
Thank you very much, Lord Keeper. And yeah, Washen will do like a very quick, precise nod, and then he'll turn around and start going to talk to a couple different people, handing out those rations.
Lord Keeper will head over to the concession stand.
Okay. Now we'll jump over to Ashley and Rika. As you guys go looking for an access tunnel, which is actually not that hard to find. There isn't anything immediately around the areas that we've talked about exploring up to this point, but if you start following the hallway past the ticket booth, you will get to an entrance with a sign on it, Ashley, that says lower bleachers, and below that there'll be another sign in the same direction that says back hall. Those are your options. Both in the same direction.
Okay, well, I'll probably try the back hall first.
Okay. Got any input there, John?
Sorry, what did you say again?
You guys went down past the ticket booth, and you got to basically a bend in the corner, and there's two signs. Ashley looks up at them. You know there's writing on them. You have no fucking clue what it says. So I guess, I mean, it's important that you know this out of character, but I guess unless Ashley says anything, you won't actually know where you're going.
I'm just gonna follow her.
Okay. I'm illiterate, so let's do what you know.
I can't read this, and I'm supposed to be the most wise one here.
Wisdom and knowledge, not always the same thing.
Yes, but I'm an elder.
Fortunately, if you level up, you can learn to... Oh wait, no you can't.
No, you have to take that at level 1. Technically in this game, you can never learn to read.
That is the sort of thing a GM could, at their discretion, allow if someone was willing to spend enough time teaching them.
Yeah, that'd be the kind of thing I could get behind if it was like a proper journey.
The Lord Keeper could teach, the Lord Keeper would be willing to teach someone who didn't know how to read.
Teach me.
One thing I want to say real quick before we continue with Ashley and Rika going down this tunnel towards the back hall / lower bleachers, is for you, John. I do have a note set up for you on Roll20 where you can put your goals, and I would love it if you did that.
Sorry, I'm an idiot.
No.
I pulled my sheet. I'm going to just
That's fine, but I have created notes for everyone, so I can have them all in like one place, so I don't have to go open everyone's sheet up. So I would just like to have that there. I keep forgetting to reach out to you about it, and I just wanted to make sure I did it today. It should just be under I don't actually know how it organizes for you guys. What can you guys see?
Those are the goals for me.
Okay, so you can see the category. Yeah, goals. The goals category. How many other categories can you see?
Goals, rosters, NPC stuff, and handouts.
Same.
Okay. That's
Yeah, I can't see any goals.
okay. You should be able to.
Get assigned to him.
Oh,
For some reason.
really? No, there's one assigned to John. It's just called Mysterious Note. That's the default name for it.
It's mysterious note. That's what it is.
Yeah, anytime I make a handout,
Under the goals category.
yeah, you're gonna have to change the name.
I didn't see goals. Okay,
The category that the mysterious note is under, and then you can change the mysterious note name to Reika's goals.
Yeah. Anytime I create a handout, until the name is changed, the default name for a handout is Mysterious Note.
Okay. I was just I'm just being it. Don't mind me.
The mysterious note handled by the suspicious youth.
I do think that Ivan is always going to have that as his nickname now, because we called him that for the first few sessions.
We moved past it. We're gonna keep going. Yeah, it actually takes you a while, like walking down this path. Before you start seeing. Sorry. No, continue.
I was saying, walking down, I'm keeping my eye out for anything that might resemble, like, say, something that has to do with electricity, like a generator room, or somewhere we might possibly restore power.
Okay. I like it.
By my knowledge, at least real life knowledge, most places like this would have some kind of backup power supply.
It's fair. Let's.
Real pity the Lord Keeper doesn't know what you're doing. You could have said some interesting things about places with power in
Power.
and then the kind of attention they attract.
Yeah, power normally draws people. Doesn't really matter what kind of power we're talking about. They both do it.
Yep.
Okay. If I was a cunt, I'd ask you to roll a navigation check, but I'm not. Why don't you give me some perception checks as you're making your way down this. At this point, you're far enough away that it is just a dark tunnel, so hopefully you guys have something you can use for light. Because once you go around this bend, like even reading the sign that says lower bleachers and back hall is strenuous for your eyes. Going down the hall itself, it's just black.
Okay, I can solve this. I have a lantern with 2 oil flasks.
Nice.
That worked.
That does.
Pretty helpful.
Actually, question. I know we probably didn't get it, but doesn't everyone except for the Keeper get their mutations in it, or?
You haven't got them yet.
Okay,
I thought we were gonna get yours last session, potentially. And then you made all of your saves, even though you made it possible for you to get more saves you'd need to make.
Oh.
You're too good. You're too good.
Well, this is awkward.
Yeah. So looking at an oil flask, it says it can fuel a lantern for 4 hours. So you got light.
Woo!
Yeah, it says 4 hours. And then a lantern says that it can cast light in 10 meters, or if you focus it in a specific direction, 20 meters. So you have really good. This is a pretty good lantern.
That's a high quality lantern.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going down a hole, right? So I just have to focus in one area.
Focus on one direction.
Yeah. You got a lantern pointing down this hall. There is a bend to it, but it's not like a crazy one. You can see all the way down it, and it's actually pretty like within light range once you light it up, so you can see the sign. And then look down the tunnel. You actually see multiple places where the ceiling has partially collapsed. Not in any state like we've talked about before. We're talking about just like a few large trunks, maybe like cinder block size, that have fallen off the ceiling, and you can see small little missing pieces above that. Like a half dozen of them scattered about in various places as far as you can see.
Ashley will definitely pipe up at this point with like, for a 200-plus-year-old building that hasn't seen any maintenance, this place is remarkably well preserved.
Yes, I am definitely going to mark this down somewhere or come back here later.
Maybe I have Ashley pegged down wrong, but I had a feeling she was going to say something like it doesn't look much better than it did last time I was here.
Nah, she ain't gonna compose herself like that.
She's being hopeful.
Yeah, you guys start making your way down the tunnel, and like 3 or 4 minutes after you start walking, you notice that there are signs of conflict here. We're talking about multiple marks along the wall that look like bloody prints that'll go a few feet, as well as some water damage very close by, like a pool of water that's started to form in this this hole, this chunk of the earth, not of the earth, of the stadium that's missing.
Well, that's unnerving. Best we keep an eye out in case we find trouble.
Yes, but I would be lying if it didn't spark some curiosity in me.
Same. I have to agree with you on that one. Shall we press forward?
Yes.
Only like 2 minutes later, I probably should have said this. That was on like the inner portion of the stadium. And a few minutes later, once again on the inner portion of the stadium, you see partially in blood, like the first part's in blood, but the second part is actually using like a yellowish green, I don't know, pigment. This line of text you can read, Ashley, and it says, only those who survive the Pact will be able to make it through.
Interesting. Wonder what this pact is. I have no idea what we're talking about, but nothing's going to stop me at this point.
I don't believe that'll stop any of us.
To cut to where we have Will and John rolling up new characters.
It's like one of those horror survival movies where we're the first two to die.
He said it, the lab's not gonna stop us. Go on in, ignore warning.
giant cinder monster starts picking us off one by one.
Left the safety of the group, left behind the guy with the armor and the sword who's trying to guard everybody, go forth into the darkness, ignore warning signs, get me. I mean, it feels like a horror movie. It feels like you guys are like the first victims.
I don't know what the difference would have been like if one had gone to the back room and one had gone to the teacher.
Yes! That would be horror movie.
You just wait. That's
We
the
had
next
Axe
step.
fumbling around in the dark with no light.
Look, I have a gun. I got this.
So
What
like,
HP?
See, we have guns.
You do it with 1 HP.
Yeah, but I don't think that matters.
Yeah, as long as you don't get hit, the amount of HP you have doesn't matter. I think that's what John's counting on. Or that's what Rika's counting on.
Hey, perfect logic. If they can't get to me when I shoot them, they're dead.
Yeah, it works. That all checks out.
kill them before they kill you first.
Okay, I think at this point we'll jump back to Bress as he finishes scavenging the second office.
Okay. Well, Bress is going to head back to sort of that main ticket room and search the door that was the farther door in the room. See if it's open.
Okay. You have to like step around or step over some of that debris, and you open it, and you can get it like 2/3 of the way open before you run into any debris, but it opens up easily enough. There's a lock you had to flip, but it's just a regular lock.
Okay. And can you see what's in there then? Can you get through?
Yeah. You open it up, and it looks like a little break room with another door, another hallway past it, and a door on the left-hand side. Looks like it goes inwards.
Okay. Then let's I mean, you said it's a break room. Any lockers or anything?
Yeah, there are 24 lockers in it, as well as 2 large tables with enough to seat up to 30 people, as well as a fridge and multiple cabinets, and a few more fake plants.
Then, hurry to check real quick and see if any of the lockers are open and check the cabinets.
Okay.
To find the collector of fake plants, like eccentric person who's like got their old pre-war bunker filled with fake
I just
plants.
sort of having Bress like keep the plants from his office and just like
It's just rows and rows of toilet paper.
And the person has like a food, like one of those machines,
like synthesizes food, so that like they have like the thing. So they have like infinite food, and they just hoard plants, and they like trade people their food for plants.
Hell yeah. They got a min fact that's just
So
coded
wacko
for
eccentric.
nutrient paste.
Yeah.
Here's some nutrient paste. Give me my fake plant. I love it. I'm gonna keep that one up here.
It just has a lot of really wacko survival
ideas for this, because I have a whole post-apocalyptic setting I made up years ago, and some of these are things from that.
I love it. Give me a perception check as you're looking through these lockers for Bress. I would love to see what he sees. I'll tell you right now that most of them are already opened and looted. Okay. Yeah. As you're going through, opening these, the ones that are already just like flung open, which quite a few of them are, and you're not able to find any anything of use in the vast majority of them, but you do go to open one of them, and you like realize like that there's actually a very small lock on it. It looks like a combination lock with 4 digits on it. I wouldn't spend your whole time trying to guess what it was. But you can hear, as you like try to open it, you can hear something rattling on the inside.
You remember it and tell someone who can
yeah. For the time being, he's just going to move on from that, then what about the cabinets?
Okay. Yeah. As you're going through the cabinets, give me another perception check. Okay. Okay. You open up one of the cabinets, and I would like you to give me a mental save as you open it up, and you see this dark black, like football-sized fuzzball with 2 yellow eyes and a big mouth that screams when you open it. You just hear.
It's a Furby! It's a demented Furby!
No!
Yeah,
No, nightmares!
Skylar, use your fail to react however you think appropriate.
Okay. Russ runs out of there screaming and back to the room. Nice.
I saw a thing.
Okay, yeah. You see, Washen, when you start running towards him, you see him like come up to you at the ready and be like, "What happened? Where are the others?"
I wasn't with them. There's something in one of the cabinets back there. It's some kind of terrifying monster.
Okay. Give me a second. And you see him. He runs back towards one of the gentlemen behind him. I believe. Yeah, probably to the pilot who's still around. Who we still haven't gotten the name of or figured out if he's the co-pilot or the actual pilot.
We know, I have him down as pilot, saved by actually happened.
Yeah, he goes over and you can hear him, Bress. You can hear him talking to the cowboy pilots with a gun. And he asked the man to take over his watch, saying that he's going to go help Bress. He's going to go help you deal with something in the ticket booth.
Here's hoping it's not actually like a Furby. Or something.
Animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if it just had a little bit of battery left?
You're starting to hear a really deeply voiced, I love you kind of thing.
Furby.
Furbies are the devil.
That's
They're literally
why
the
I
devil.
said that.
You just hear, I love you.
Yeah, Russell guide him back to the break room.
Okay, we see like Washen taking each one of these corners very tactically, making sure to check before he just barges in. And he starts making his way with like Bress behind him, kind of giving him instructions where to go. Starts making his way towards the break room, and when he gets to like the door that I assume you just like left open as you ran away, he like checks around the corner real quick, and he like looks back at you and like just motions for you to be quiet and wait here. He starts walking forward very slowly, and we see like a side view as we see like Washen walking down the hall and the break room sitting in front of us over here. As he's slowly walking down, and he peers over around the corner, and he like points the gun up towards the open cabinet that Bress left up. There's nothing there. And he does a quick little look around the room, checking underneath the tables, looking at the open lockers. And he just calls out. We see him like look back, and he calls out, Bress, whatever it was, it's not in here anymore. It's safe.
Okay, it's on the prowl then. We'll have to keep an eye out.
Was it a Furby?
Okay.
I can't help but feel like it's just a little fruit bat.
I mean, look at Furby from 200 years in the future.
Right?
Oh, the future Furby.
600 years from now, Furbies are.
Furbies came back, man. Furbies came back.
This time, they're
Look at the mullet. Got brought back.
In the 2600s, Furbies, they're back.
Except now they're super high tech.
Yeah, super high
they're
tech enough that they can
actually-
survive 200 years without repairs.
Yes.
Or,
And they lurk in places and jump out at you.
hear me out, they're low tech enough that they couldn't survive 200 years, but they could be repaired. There we go. Someone
Yeah,
loves
actually,
this Furby breast.
Jacob, we have to fight. We have to actually fight a Furby. Something like that.
That's what I'm gonna do. It's just like every seven ruins you go to, there's gonna be a different colored Furby with a name you can discover.
It's like, yes.
And when you collect all the Furbies,
There's a giant Furby mech that's actually a secret government weapon.
yeah,
The Furby Voltron.
yep, they'll all combine together into a super Furby. Furby Prime is what we'll call them. Furby Prime reporting for duty. Rah!
This is great. Of all things.
Well, I guess with the terrifying monster seemingly gone, Russ will very cautiously continue to check the cabinets.
Okay.
Here we watch the survivors descend into madness.
You continue to search through these cabinets. You open the first one, worried there might be another black furball ready to scream at you, and there's not. And there's kind of sigh of relief we see. You open it up. Inside, you find a bunch of decomposed paper that's all flattened down to the ground now. Doesn't look like it's doing great. Looks like it's been chewed up a little bit by some bugs. And you keep going through the cabinets and finding some very similar situations where there's just a bunch of plastic cups and then some paper ones that are mostly collapsed and wrapping and that kind of stuff. But eventually you're gonna find some in there that you can actually use as a firebox.
Oh?
Yeah. New item for us to talk about. Yeah. A good fire improves any camp and can sometimes make the difference between survival and death by frost. Primitive fireboxes are a set of metal and ceramic plates that can be quickly assembled into an efficient wood-burning stove. So it's basically supplies that if this is actually important to note where it is. This cabinet is specifically above an oven. So what it looks like is you're actually taking spare parts that belong to this oven.
So you take some spare parts of the oven that you can make into a stove.
Yeah, it can be used as an impromptu firebox, though it's important to note that you'll need to load it with a Type A power cell, because this is an old Terran firebox. So you can put firebox TL4.
Power cells are harder to come by.
Yeah. If it was a primitive version, you'd have to use charcoal, which, is technically easier to find.
You can make charcoal.
Yeah. I don't actually know what I haven't been looking at the encumbrance for these items. I've just been throwing them at you guys, so I don't actually know what the encumbrance are.
Glow buds too, which are recharged by a Type A power cell. So Chris is going to just need to get a Type A power cell or two at some point.
He's going to need to get the Type A power cell plus, and then a generator to recharge it.
Yeah.
That tech level 2 toolkit, that's 3 encumbrance. And let me look for the firebox. Fire. These are alphabetical, Jacob. The firebox is 1, and the fire starter is 1.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna say that yeah, we'll just go with, because this hasn't been touched. This is, you don't need to write it down. There are technically two different conditions for an equipment that you can get: perfect, which is almost impossible to find, and then worn, which is the default assumption, which is what we've gotten so far. But I did want to explain that, since today we have finally started talking about conditions. This is technically a worn item. You don't need to put that next to it because that's the default. I would only ask you to do it if it was any other condition, but I did want to bring it up.
Okay. Well, with the lockers cleared out, he'll head back to the locker. No high-tech solution, but he does have an axe. He's just going to try to smash the lock off the locker.
Okay. I could see this going very well, and I could see this going very bad. So why don't you just give me, I think, like, I feel like a luck save is appropriate.
Oh, God. Wait, Skylar, you might want to use your advantage on this.
You could technically do that.
If
Say it before, then you get whichever's better, but with a save, it doesn't matter because of how saves work, but...
So, I don't know how my advantage works on that, so I would just get 2 rolls and I take the better.
If you use a point, if you pre-edge it, that's what they would call it in Shadowrun, then you would get basically advantage, whichever's better. If you do it after you roll, if you're like, okay, this is trash, I want to roll again, you just take whatever you get with the reroll.
Because saves are pass or fail, I don't know if there's a reason to pre-edge.
Yeah, with saves I wouldn't pre-edge. But, I mean, if you can justify another way to do this, I'm 100% willing to listen.
Well, I mean, luck's on my best side anyway, so let me do the luck and see how it goes, and if not, then maybe wind up re-rolling it.
Good luck save?
I'd also be willing to accept, like, a combat primitive with your axe.
Okay.
What's the AC of the door? Hitting the lock.
I'm sure you can do a skill check with that still, can't you? Is that not something you can choose for a skill check? I don't see why you couldn't do...
There's basic melee attack roll. I guess you could hit that.
No, there's a skill for it. It's called...
No, there is a skill combat primitive.
Yeah, it's one of the skills. Like, you could... If you...
Right.
I think both are applicable
right,
here.
I'm
Sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's for if you're doing something with the weapon that's outside of what you normally use it for.
Okay.
AKA combat.
You could, if you would like, you could roll... Again, if you use that point, like Steven suggested. You just take whatever the second roll is. You do have a +1, so it might be worth it. Are we sticking with that one, Skylar?
I think he's sticky.
That's fair.
Pensive expression.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and re-roll that. On average, I should be better than that. So.
That is true.
Goes on Umbress.
Yeah, because an average for you would be 8.
Hey!
Nice. That is average for you. Yeah. You managed to. You're like trying to strike the lock, and you managed to put enough force behind it to break it. And this very small combination lock falls off, and now you have access to this locker.
Okay. Well, he'll open it up and have a look inside.
Okay. You can have 3 tech level 4 spare parts worth of scrap that's on the inside.
Level 4. Nice.
Basically some...
1704 spare parts.
He's
He's got a lot of TL4 spare parts, which is good. There are things that's there that'll be very helpful later. It's also worth a significant amount.
Yeah, they're good trade goods.
Yeah. Technically, the Lord Keeper has something that's good trade goods too, but I don't think he would trade the he has. Sacred lucrets.
Can I get a perception check from you, Bress?
Kirby's back. Out for blood.
With a vengeance. Brett is like, why do I hear boss music?
You guys were joking about it.
Kirby's back!
Bress, you see Wushen turn around and you hear the same sound that he does, which is the sound of a few pieces of debris falling down down the hallway you guys haven't been down yet. You look over there and you see that black ball now turned away from you, running into the darkness back there.
Okay. It's going away from us. That's the right direction. So yeah, I don't think Brett even says anything.
Wushen, like, kind of dismissively looks over towards you, Bress, and he's like, "Is that what you called me back here for?"
Yes, it seems a lot more intimidating when you're facing it up close. The creatures of the ground are something we're still discovering things about, and this one seemed to have some, very effective sort of scream that drove me into a terror.
He nods at that. Well, just make sure you have your axe ready next time. And
Absolutely.
if it makes you feel more comfortable, I do think we should go down there, and I don't want to kill it, but if we have to, we should. We need to figure out the intent of this creature and scare it off, or kill
I
it.
agree. We need to make sure the group is safe. So let's go.
Yeah, and at this point, since there can't really be any, like, natural light in here, we have a problem because, yeah, like, Wushen, like, looks over at you and he's like, I don't have any light sources.
Bress will break out a glow bug and activate it.
Nice. I like to imagine that it looks like, I know it probably doesn't, but it's called a glow bug, so I like to imagine it's like a little beetle you like snap. Little beetle carapace.
I like it.
I just imagine it's like an ornamental firefly and ask for it bright and shine wherever you need.
It's like one of those like lights you, like, I don't even know what they're called. I know I've used them a few times, but I have no idea what they're called. You use them, you like hold them like this, and they got a face, they got the grip, and then the light comes out here. You know what I'm talking about? And you can like latch it. Sometimes they have like a latch you can put on, attach it to stuff. I have no clue what that's called. Anyone who's an adult that works on cars, let me know. Yeah, you light the glow bug up, and you and like Wushen start walking in there. He's like following very closely behind you as you light the way. Start stepping over debris and making your way down this it's like 10-meter long hallway towards a door that, now that you have some light shined on it, you can tell is like cracked open just enough for a black fur ball to get in there.
Okay. Bress will edge up on it carefully and sort of nudge it open more with his foot and shine the light inside.
You, as you begin opening the door, you hear like a scraping sound from somewhere in the room. and then the sound of a piece of ceramic falling and then shattering.
The room in there doesn't sound very sturdy. It's like the structure's coming down a little bit, so this may not be a great idea.
You
Be careful of his arch nemesis.
you open it up, and inside is a restroom that has 4 different stalls in it, and 2 sinks.
Actually, 4 Furbies.
Just one stall. They're waiting for you.
And you can see all the doors are closed on them. They're not like completely closed, but like mostly closed. And you can actually see on the stall closest to you on the floor underneath the doors, because for some fucking reason that's how bathroom stalls are. You can see underneath them. I just want to be able to see a foot of everyone's feet anytime I go into a stall. You see some ceramic on the ground. Once again, it looks like this toilet has fallen apart. Might be what you heard.
Okay, the creature moving around in here probably dislodged things a little bit. So I don't see it in the main room here, so it's probably in one of the stalls. Let's check those.
Okay. Like, you swing the stall door out towards yourself. Shen's in the back with his gun gripped in both hands, waiting. Nothing pops out. And yeah, it looks like the front of this toilet is just fallen. It's not shattered like what Lord Keeper of the book saw earlier. It just looks like this one has cracked and part of it has fallen forward. Now, assuming the thing you saw has feet, maybe it pushed off that. Would make sense with the sound.
What's the ceiling look like?
You see a lot of cracks and a few chips, but nothing like
animals that could have gone through anything. Okay.
not above this. No, but that is noteworthy. In the center of this room, kind of a little bit farther back than at proper center, there is like a very small vent, probably like baseball sized, that has a bunch of metal slits in it that you can like see that are like have been spread apart.
Okay.
Like something's opened it, definitely.
Briss is going to point that out, just to be thorough, but say we need to check the stalls first, so let's check the next one. And yeah, just go through the stalls one at a time,
Okay.
opening the doors.
As a note, for the creature you saw to get to that vent in the ceiling, it would need to be much smaller and able to jump about like 7.5 feet up.
Hey, saw fluff everywhere. It could be just the fluffing up the defense mechanism, make itself look bigger and scarier.
That's true.
Actually smaller and can jump.
We've seen manual wings flying about. I'm wondering if new possibilities.
Yeah, maybe there's some wings hidden in that fluff.
I really wish you guys. I know you. I wish you'd gone and asked the Lord Keeper what it was. Maybe he knows.
Yeah, you go to the...
In the main area, you could have stepped up.
No, I couldn't have. I was in the concession stand.
It's right there.
Yeah, there's only 3 stalls left that you haven't opened up. You get to the second stall, open it up very quickly. Once again, nothing inside. The stall looks like it's in better condition though. Go to the third stall. There's only 2 left. Open it up. Nothing inside. You go to the final stall. Yeah, it has to be here, right? Where else would it be?
You would think.
You open the stall, and inside the toilet with the lid up, you see that black ball. All you can only see the top half of it as it looks up from inside this toilet, and its eyes, they were pretty fucking big last time, but they're like twice as big this time, almost all pupils. And
The Furby attacks.
what do you do?
I mean, Bress is just going to take a step back and away, so we shouldn't have a good shot of it.
Okay. As you back out of the way, the thing screams once again. You hear it let this blood curdling scream out again. Washen fires at it. Let's see. Let's throw some rolls out here.
Kill the Furby.
Don't kill the Furby.
Okay, he fires. He fires his pistol at the black ball of eyeballs, and we'll see how much damage he does.
Kill the fluff.
You know, for all you guys know, this is the worst fucking thing you've ever seen. So it might be a good idea.
It's funny.
Yeah, that's what you want the snake to come inside.
Oh yeah, this thing.
The snake was too scared. Fucking murder me.
Yep, that's it.
Fear the murdery.
Okay. I just want to check the damage on the weapon. Okay, you see the black fluff ball. It gets shot, and it falls back farther into the toilet, and you hear it hit water.
Oh jeez.
Poor thing.
And then you see a bunch of the water being flung out of the bowl, and you can hear it being flung out by this creature. And Washen goes in goes in to get closer because he can't see it anymore. What are you doing, Bress?
Bress is going to set his glow bug like down on the stick so it's lighting up the area and get out his bow.
Okay. Yeah, we see Bress get his bow out after he sets down the glow bug, and then the camera does like another side shot, but it's letting us see through the stall now so we can see it all going on. And we see Washen as he walks up towards the toilet, and now we're getting this shot as we like see his eyes get just the teeniest bit wider, and now we have a shot from like his POV, and we see this tiny black fur ball going down in through the toilet and disappearing.
It squished itself down and went into the toilet.
Poor thing.
I think for now we're good. Which then I'll turn around and be like, there's a little bit of blood in the toilet, but the creature, it went down into the toilet.
Okay. Russ is going to look around and grab some rubble and put it in the toilet and continue to single point of the toilet.
Don't forget there's a few sinks as well.
Just jamming debris in every crevice.
Yeah.
Barricade the bastard.
I don't know, just as like a general overview of it, give me an athletics check.
Alright.
I'm sorry, this is just ridiculous.
This is awesome.
Didn't say it wasn't. It's ridiculous and awesome at the same time.
This
It's ridiculously
is terror.
awesome.
Nice. And as it normally is with brass, you start trying to lift up pieces, very hammock pieces of ceramic that have fallen from various portions of the walls and ceiling, and putting them into the toilets. And you feel like you did a decent job. You can't find anything that like fits, perfectly in there, but
Perfect
I mean,
fit for the toilet.
yeah. You're doing your best with what you got. And you get over to the sinks and you look at the sinks, which you hadn't up to this point. And like, I mean, you saw how tiny it shrunk before. The question is like, can it shrink down to be the same size as the sink in front of you? And can it get past the small little metal grates in there if it can shrink to that size? I don't know if that's worth your effort to get some more debris or not to cover those.
I'm gonna bother with that.
Okay.
No, I think that's enough.
Okay.
This survives all of this. I don't know.
It went down the toilet.
Super Furby.
I think at this point we'll hop back over to the girls as they're walking down the tunnel.
Yay, girls. Girl power. Hey.
You keep walking down this path, and only a few minutes later down this path, you actually see a sizable opening that heads inwards. It looks like you see the path that keeps on going, and then this new opening off to the side. And there are two signs that, with the help of the lantern, you can read. Ashley, one pointing down this new offshoot, pointing forwards. It says lower bleachers, and there is a considerably larger amount of debris here. It looks like, at least from the little bit you can see, that you can navigate your way out there. In fact, you can even see, what time of day is it right now? I forgot. It's like 3 in the morning right now, isn't it?
Yeah, that was probably like 4 in the morning.
Yeah. So there's no light at this point. But you can see like a way that you can navigate. There's the light you guys have to provide. You can see a way that you could probably navigate through this debris. And it says lower bleachers. And then the other sign says back hall. But you see that there's like a little bit of marking, maybe painting on the arrow there that says that's yellow. So it's a little different.
Yellow.
Looks like it's peeled off most of the way, but there's still a little bit of it.
Okay.
This way leads to the bleachers. I'm assuming it's probably like going outside further into the stadium, so could just continue down the hall. So there might be something else down that way for us.
John, your mic went live, but I didn't hear anything from you. You are super quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, pretty quiet.
Okay, hello?
Hey, there we go.
Now you're better.
Better, yes.
Not sure what was up with that, man. You were like,
No, I think I know. I think I know what was up, but
Okay. What's your response to Ashley?
okay. Sorry, Ashley, what did you say?
Ashley said, this way leads out to the lower bleachers. It's probably just outside, further inside the stadium. I think we should keep going down the hallway. Might find something more down there.
I'm going to trust you only because I do not know what the symbols mean.
Oh, well. Maybe if we live through all this, I can teach you.
I'll be most appreciated.
Terrific. Alright. Further on in we go.
Okay. It only takes you a few moments as you navigate around the teeny bit of debris. You don't even have to for this part. As you walk your way down farther towards this this back hall, as it's titled, before you get around this slight corner, and you see that it's almost completely walled off, and there's a door with a fingerprint scanner on it, and above it it says backstage access.
Interesting.
I think you found what you were looking for.
I'm going to investigate this. I'm going to investigate the doors, although I guess I'm not going to open unless I have a fingerprint.
Yeah, it looks like you go up and you try and open it up, and it doesn't budge.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to investigate the scanner. Does the scanner itself look like it might be some kind of power going to it? Or is it just dead?
Yeah, there must be, right? Because you can see like you can see that it's a fingerprint scanner, right? Like it has the imprint on it where you should put your finger. Just faintly lit up. Not enough to cast any light anywhere, but you can see it.
Yeah, a small little dot. Okay, let's see. You know what? I'm going to try to see if I can hotwire this thing. I'm going to look over to Rika, be like, I'm going to try to see if I can hack this thing, see if I can get this door open. Mind helping me take this paneling off?
I lost my phone, but okay.
She snapped her arm.
Lost.
Lost.
Lost is a kind word.
Lost was a great show. Okay. How are you gonna get access to the wiring in this door?
We'll look around, see if there's some way I might be able to take off the front panel on it.
Okay. Yeah. Looking at this, it seems like pretty tight, pretty standard made. Old Terran, as the kids are calling it nowadays, tech. And unless you get some tools meant to get inside of this, you're not going to be able to access any of the internal bits for this fingerprint scanner.
It's like we're going to need some kind of meta tool or something of that like variety. I guess we'll have to try the other way, see if maybe there's a way we could get around this.
If you guys have any, like as I've said before, if you guys have any ideas, throw them out to me.
Ashley's idea is a metal tool would be exactly what she would need to try to get into it.
Could work.
A metal tool or some kind of toolkit. Probably like a high-tech, high-level toolkit.
I like access to get past locks.
Are you saying you use axes to get access?
Yeah.
It's both awesome and horrible at the same time, Jake.
It's a Gordian Empire, every lock is the Gordian knot. Just cut through it.
Exactly.
Nice. Nice.
Here's a few ideas I could throw out, just to like help fuel future creative juices. You could use the breech loader or knife. That could definitely be extremely dangerous and potentially fuck things up. But
I am not doing that.
just put the breech loader up to it.
Could go back and see if anyone has something that might help. I mean, Lord Keeper's got a whole bunch of gear.
There's possibility you could just use the laser pistol to blast it.
Blast the lock. Blast off the, like, if you can cut, like, the bar inside the door, you know, because if you get that severed, then the door will just open.
Yeah.
I mean, it's traditional locks, you know, have, like, a bar that goes across. If you can cut through the bar, the door should just open.
It's a 2-story door, just kick it. Break the wooden frame if there is one, yeah.
Stuff that's 2 centuries old still works pretty dang well. If it's a security door, it's probably an even better cover. And
Yeah, this is not a wooden door like the previous door that got fucked with.
Yeah, she thinks.
Two things could definitely work.
we are just giving suggestions. It is entirely up to you two what you two do.
Of course, there's also that chance that the magnetic door.
Power here is relevant.
In general, it's actually really interesting piece of information. That hopefully you will tell the rest of us that there is a power source.
Yeah, actually, I think for a moment, you should look at Rika. I don't think anything we have right now is going to help us get through this door. If I try blasting it, there's a chance that I will screw up any chance of getting this lock open. And unless I can get access to the wires, there's no way of hot wiring this thing. So either we could return back to the group or try going through the lower bleachers to see what it has. What do you think?
I was never one to shy away from the truth. Let's go further.
Alright, to the bleachers then.
The Rika, she's all beat up. She's fallen multiple times. Got really is fatigued.
She's
Keep going.
She's a real trooper.
Yeah, until morning, I don't know.
The Lord Keeper specifically was exploring places right around here that could have something that would threaten the group. Plan is to go to sleep after he's done exploring the concession stand.
Who knows what'll happen to his fucking plans when he hears about the black furball.
I know. It could very well be that the black furball is some like part of like a swarm type of things that like they attack you in a swarm like piranhas, strip your flesh from your bones, and they're terrifying.
Oh my god. I heard something last week. It was in like Florida or some shit. I'm assuming it was Florida. I don't remember where it was, but it sounds like the kind of thing that would happen in Florida. And a guy, he was like trying to escape a pack of like geese or some shit like that were like attacking him. And he jumped into a lake and got killed by a group of piranhas.
That does sound like Florida.
Piranhas are Amazonian.
I don't. It was something weird like that, where he was being attacked. He was being like mauled by a pack of birds, and then he jumped into the water and got eaten by piranhas.
This is a slight tangent, but there's a setup. It's a series of books. And in the first book, it's a sort of fantasy world, and this guy gets taken in by this sort of like giant bear monster that's super friendly, and they're adventuring one day, and they run into he sees this little like purple like pink fluff ball that's sort of like hopping along behind him, and he points it out to his bear like the bear friend, and the bear friend looks at it. Does this sort of like panic roar, running the other way, and then there's more of them coming, and then there's this whole group of them. Then they open then the front of them open, and there's like teeth.
I love it.
Swarm of like and purple fluff balls. Teeth. Because like he thought, oh, isn't that cool? Then his bear friend thing looks at it like, oh no, swarm. It's just running away.
You don't have to run faster than the pink fluff balls, you just have to run faster than the bear.
Exactly.
His bear friend saves him and then gets eaten.
Aw, that's rough.
Well, I'm exactly right.
That's why you don't save people. Right there, you get eaten if you save people. Lesson learned.
Who says selfish doesn't pay?
Okay, at this point,
It's actually a good book. It's a kid's book, but
doesn't mean it's bad. You can enjoy. I don't know.
the name of the series. If I googled it, I'm pretty sure I could find the series again. I just don't remember the name.
Yeah, you guys start making your way through the debris. Can I get like a navigation or check? Yeah, I think navigation would work. That's a go-to check. Yeah. It's potentially dangerous debris because it is literally like the ceiling above you has collapsed in and parts of the wall have collapsed in as well, and you're trying to make your way through it.
Would it be intelligence or wisdom? Or what skill would, or what tribute would be the best for this?
I could see either. Yeah. You tell me. You tell me how you're gonna solve it.
I could argue for intelligence, like she's using kind of 3D thinking, how like gauging where the basically using basic math to try to find the openings that they could probably pull through.
You would also remember architecture from her previously having been here. Remember the structure.
She would have been here particularly. Drone races wasn't exactly interesting to her.
It's fair.
It's a big planet.
Right. I thought we had just established that she actually knew this place.
Yeah, she knew this place.
In here.
She did know that this place doesn't mean she hasn't necessarily have been to this place. She did know of it.
Yes, that's fair. I just thought she'd been here. That was my bad.
Question is, why does she know about this place?
Probably got some friends who were interested in drone racing.
There we go.
Because the pack of wild black fluffballs attacked it and murdered everybody.
Yep. You guys all thought it was psychopaths who could do stuff with their minds and robots that ended the world. It was actually fluffballs.
It was the pack of Furbies.
What if Pact has been mistranslated and it's actually supposed to say Pack?
Yeah, could survive the pack.
But I'm actually supposed to be 7 because I forgot I had that +2 modifier.
You're fired.
+1 modifier, sorry.
Okay. 7. Okay. You're able to navigate your way through this, though, you have to, like, backtrack and stop to assess where you're going multiple times, so it's going to take you a while to get to the other end, even, like, comparative to the journey you've had so far. Because you've been walking down these tunnels and pausing for, like, 10 minutes. And you're definitely going to spend... hold on 1 second, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I'm just curious what the Lord Keeper's gonna find in the concession stand.
Perfectly preserved concessions.
That would be nice.
Twinkies just sitting there.
Twinkies! Because Twinkies, they last forever.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, it's gonna take you like 20 minutes to get through all of this, and navigate it like safely. So because of the amount of time it's going to take you, we're actually gonna jump over to the Lord Keeper.
Concession stand adventure.
Holy shit, is it? It's already 4:20. Nice. Would you guys like to do the break now?
Sure. Yeah. I can do it.
Okay. Then we'll call it 32 after, and then we'll find out what the Lord Keeper of the Book is going to be up to.
Maybe he does find Twinkie.
Maybe. No Twinkies. Twinkies are the worst. You're only going to get snowballs.
Pretty sure those would also last over forever, too. It's the same kind of thing.
Probably. I will see you guys very soon.
Okay.
Boo. What'd I miss?
Not much.
Another thing?
Just saw some pictures from my hometown. Both my siblings are down there right now. And took a picture, my older of the two siblings took a picture of the lake I used to go ride boats on in the summer. If I was lucky enough, if it wasn't too dry. And I like kid you not, it's like 15 feet lower. I haven't seen it in like 10 years and it's gone down by like 15 feet. There's like almost nothing in this lake, I swear to God. It's so empty. It's like there were trees growing in places I remember riding boats in. It was crazy.
Gahiji.
You there, John? You there, John?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's get this thing going, guys. Hey, we're heading over to the White Rhinos Food Emporium, I believe, Lord Keeper of the Book. And we'll start there.
Food Emporium. Head over. So what did we see? What does this place look like?
Yeah, as you head over to the concession stand, you see four different like places that you can walk up 3 of which have like glass screens next to them that are like covering places where you go get food. And the 4th one's on the far corner, and you can see multiple installations for drinks, as well as next to that, just past that, is a small, very thin divider that swings in and out, that is currently closed. That would probably be the easiest way to get in.
Yeah, that's how we'll try to get in.
Okay. You open it up, and I'll give you a little bit of description of the back. There is obviously like a symbol of the rhinos in the background. There's multiple rhinos in the back. They're all anthropomorphic. There's like 4 or 5 of them, and then at the front there's a white rhino, and he's ahead of the rest of them. Yeah. And
so like the drones are depicted as rhinos, and then the white rhino is
yeah, exactly. You got it. And in the back, there's a bunch of different like signs for different things you can get. A lot of them are faded, but you can probably see a few of them. Like you see different drink sizes that all have different values next to them. And then you'll see, like, it says, like, CRU, then there's some smeared off stuff that's been, like, scratched or something. This is popcorn, and there's values next to it, a bunch of stuff like that. You can tell they sold a bunch of different stuff here. And you might not be surprised that like the majority of the stuff you see back here that's still around and intact to some degree is made of styrofoam.
It's eternal.
Yeah, like you see yeah. You see like a dispenser for styrofoam cups that's like mostly packed up. You can see you put more at the top, except for there's like a large gouge through them. It's not precise. It doesn't like someone took a knife or like a claw through it. It just looks like some heavy force went through it quickly, and you look up and you see that like a piece of the debris fell down and hit that, and down below there's some debris and a bunch of styrofoam pieces. Stuff like that. And then there's a bunch of in the back by all the stuff I'm describing right now, there are a bunch of metal containers, and it looks like a bunch of them have been opened, and otherwise there's only a few other noteworthy things here. There are cash registers by all the places I said you get served at, all 4 of them, and then there is an opening, like a little doorway you can go behind, off on the other end of this concession stand. You go opposite of where you've just entered, and it looks like it opens up and goes around to the right, farther into the building.
Okay. So first he's gonna check those containers.
Okay. Yeah, give me perception checks.
Sure thing.
Come with me. Nice.
10.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, as you're going through these different metal containers, which you quickly realize multiple of them are like old fridges used for bulk storage. You don't find much beyond the old plastic and styrofoam that I was talking about, but you do find in one of those containers a large dark red smear mark that you can tell is from some clawed hand at the bottom of this fridge you open up, and it looks like it just barely touched the bottom of this white inside of this fridge, and it just smeared onto the ground, where you see just the faintest bit of blood, at least when compared to the actual inside of the fridge itself, only a few inches away.
The claw. So like, what kind of claws? Hands? Is it like a human hand? Claws, or?
It looks like a human hand, but it definitely has like 2 more fingers than it should.
Okay. Do you know of any like group of mutant creatures, mutant people, for example, that have that as a like thing?
That specific mutation with the claws and multiple hands and or multiple fingers, like extra fingers. No, but it's definitely within the realm of possibility. Mutants with claws is a thing. Mutants with extra extremities of different varieties, also a thing.
Okay. You know of any 7-fingered beasts?
Give me a history check.
Sure.
That seems the most... Or didn't we see something that said that, like, that said one of the vehicle checks would be good for animals, or was that just for handling animals?
For handling animals.
Okay.
Land.
This is one of those things. I feel like maybe adding like a natural knowledge check might be good.
Guess you could also have survival be a general one for that, but
The problem I have with that is that just lends so much. Like, survival already does so much, at least for our story.
it's a great skill, man. A real good skill to have ranks in. Have ranks in it. But yeah, I got a 10 on a history.
Yeah, you can probably think of a few, but nothing that like fits this size.
Okay.
This isn't ringing a bell to you. This claw mark.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Does the blood here, blood in this claw mark, look similar in age to the other blood?
Yeah, it's close enough.
Okay. So he found some signs that looked like there was something nasty with a fight. And at least one of the things was nasty. Something nasty with a bunch of, with extra fingers and claws. But it also looks like it took place a couple months ago.
At least, yeah.
What he's found. Okay. He's going to. Oh, that was all the containers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Glass, no food in containers.
We'll
Go deeper in.
Okay. Yeah, you make your way down the little side path to presumably like a back room, and inside you see it's pretty cramped with all the little metal shelves that jut out of it, but it's a very small storage room. Probably goes no more than like 5 meters down, and there's a bunch of shelves that stick out of it, and it's only like a few meters deep.
Okay.
He'll start searching the shelves for anything that could be useful.
Okay. This isn't going to be hard, but throw me a perception check out there. There's a lot of reusable containers and like broken down cardboard with plastic inside of it. Okay. Unfortunately, though, outside of the things that I've mentioned up to this point, there aren't any unique objects that you're able to spot. But you do see what looks like some residual, like black fur on the inside of one of these containers. It's probably it's like a 2-gallon container with an entrance. Presumably an entrance, since there's a bunch of fur inside of it. That's I don't know, no bigger than like like a 2-inch diameter.
Presses. That creature, man. Okay, so he sees that. He's gonna collect a whole. He's gonna collect basically as many of the containers that are actually functional as he can.
Okay.
He's gonna collect a bunch of those, and he's gonna take a close look at that fur. The fur ring any bells?
No.
Connecting the fur with the hand.
No. There's no connection between the two.
Okay, the fur and the handprint not related. Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna gather a bunch of containers. Going to bring the containers back out.
Okay.
I think at this point, probably see the Wushen gone.
Yeah, Wushen is not here at the moment.
I think he's probably off doing the stuff with Breast right now, for the creature.
Yep.
So the Lord Keeper would then go into the bathroom. He would fill as many of these containers
water from
the assorted sinks and the assorted pipes and things in there as he could.
Okay. So that's not the intent behind these containers, but you can definitely do that because most of these are 2-gallon oil containers, and that is definitely not what they talk about with encumbrance for the game.
Oops.
Yeah, because what isn't it? I don't remember how much a water ration is. I think it's supposed to be. What is it? Like 3 times the amount of a default ration. Well, food ration. Kilograms.
Yeah.
It's like a kilogram. I don't actually fucking know. But I guess I could have.
It's not being carried long term. It's enough for like the group to drink tonight.
Yeah. That's what happens when your GM doesn't look at the ramifications of the things he's presented you.
You're just trying to keep the people alive.
Okay, yeah. A kilo of...
Black furry shape ominously rises from the toilet behind him.
There is a sink in the concession stand.
Yeah, but he's gonna try to
Fill up these with water.
Okay, yeah, you go up to each one of the, like, you go up to the second closest sink in. I mean, there is a sink in the concession stand you can use. You don't have to use the men's restroom.
So you use the concession stand sink first.
Okay, and that's when you would realize that there isn't actually any pressure in said sinks. Not enough for you to get more than like a few drops that come out of it.
The concession stand sink.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you go to the bathroom one.
Okay. These are a lot more fruitful, but significantly less fruitful than the first time that you tried. So roll me a d4 minus 1. Okay. Going down all the sinks in the men's restroom, you can get a total of 3 water rations. Dirty.
So okay. He's gonna collect. He's got those. He brings out the jugs and sets and puts them with the group, and then tells the guy on watch basically that there's water. Guys, wake up.
And when you're eating prep in the morning, after people are done, some water.
I gave back out some food to give Percent some food to spread out. So hopefully, this will be enough to keep you guys going long enough for us to the next place. Didn't find any food in the concession stand. They're in the Emporium over there. And, I need to crash myself. So little bit somebody else was going to relieve you. I should have worked out a schedule for you guys. If you need anything, hit me up and I'll help.
Yeah, at this point, the pilot would probably, since he's the one on watch right now, he would probably pipe up, and be like, well, Shen, he only left a few minutes ago. He said he wasn't going to take that long. When he gets back, I'll let him know you're resting, and I won't have him bug you unless it's important.
Alright. Thanks. Actually, I don't know your name.
Got everybody's name written down, but I will tell you right now, I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. Which one was this? Okay. Okay, you're gonna love this guy's name. People around here call me Lethal de Mambre. And then he'll put his hand out to shake yours.
The Lord Keeper extends his hand and shakes. Could you tell me how I should spell this? Because I have no idea.
Lethold space DE space MOBRAY. Lethal de Mambre.
Okay. Hey, I got his name too. Awesome. Lord Keeper shakes his hand. Sure. I'm gonna go to sleep. So the Lord Keeper, he goes over.
You earned it.
Thank you. He goes over, and he's gonna put himself near the door. He'll find where the where the sleeping person as close to the door is, and he'll go a little bit closer to the door than that person. You know, a bit closer, like a foot or two closer to the door than that person, and sort of. He'll get out his tarp. And he'll get out his tarp. Use tarp as like a blanket situation. And backpack. The old crummy backpack. Use the backpack as a pillow of its sort. Go to sleep.
Nice.
Rest. He needs some rest so we can heal his wounds.
Okay. Did I ever give you guys a description of what Lethal de Mambre looks like? Or Dombre? Sorry.
I think he gave us a detailed description for him.
Okay.
You assumed he was going to die.
Yeah, that's fair. There are a lot of people I thought were gonna die that are alive. Yeah, so he has very veiny black skin, a bald head and green eyes. He's average height for a Lunite, and he has a very hideous oval shaped face.
It's very hideous.
Yeah, it's covered in like.
It's all off in the shape of your face.
I feel bad for that guy. Very hideous.
Yeah. Like blemishes and multiple, like dozens of small scars. And something you definitely would have noticed that I probably should have brought up before is he has a very large tribal tattoo on his right arm, and then a small tattoo of a dagger on his neck.
Okay. I don't think those have any particular significance to the Lord Keeper. People with markings, it's not an uncommon thing.
No, not at all.
He probably doesn't know where these are from because these are Luna tattoos. So yeah, the Lord Keeper just went over, set himself up. He could get up and fight if need be. Protect people, get the door, shield by him.
Even if they were from Terra, tattoos, just like they have been for literally fucking ever, people get them for all kinds of reasons. Sometimes they're practical, and most of the times they don't make any fucking sense unless you've talked to that person.
Yeah.
Why do you have a giraffe on you? I don't know, because it looks good. Why do you have an anchor? Because my grandpa was a sailor. Cool.
Keeper is
nice. Let's jump over to Bress and Wushen.
Okay. I mean, they're leaving that bathroom. I think there was one door left in that hallway that hadn't been opened. There was like the hallway leading off the main to get room out of the second door, and there was one door like I think off to the left, and then the hall continued on and ended in what seemed like an employee restroom. So yeah, I think there's a door left, right?
The only door that's left is it's an exit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, Bruce is just going to head back to the main group and settle down for the night.
Okay. And you would see Lethold still keeping guard, and the Lord Keeper of the Book is one of the people slumped over in the debris pile right now. And yeah, Lethold, as you get close, he'll wave out at you. Sorry, that looked a little Hail Hitlery, didn't it? That was not supposed to.
Just looked like a wave.
Okay, sorry. I saw it and I was like, oh god, no, I don't want that. Not with my face on the screen.
Don't ban me, you're bad.
Yeah.
They're not gonna ban you for saying it gives you a wave.
I don't know, man. They ban you for some weird shit. They won't even tell you why they ban you nowadays. And same with YouTube. They'll just flag videos and you'll be like, hey, how come, or Twitch does this. Twitch is worse about it, where they'll they'll take a video down and then you're like, how come you took my video down? Well, there was some inappropriate content in it. And then you'll be like, well, what was the inappropriate content? And they won't provide an answer. And it's like, well, how am I supposed to know what's inappropriate if you don't tell me and you've taken the fucking video down? So,
one-sided terms and conditions.
Yeah. Twitch ain't looking out for us, which is nothing new, but whatever. Lethold will come up to you and he'll let you know. Lord Keeper told him. Lord Keeper said that there ain't no food in the concession stand, and he found a little bit of water for us. Which, I mean, it's gonna hold us over. But I don't know how good that's gonna do when there's... He looks back at everyone, and you can kind of hear him like, 1, 2, and he's like counting, and you see him look up when there's a bunch of us here.
It'll have to do us for now. Hopefully we'll be able to reach a settlement tomorrow. We'll see. And if so, I'll make sure that we get more supplies there.
I'm sure we can make it through another day. I mean, it's biting at us, but we'll make it. We're Lunites.
We're tough. We're doing what we have to do.
Would y'all end up finding back there? You shoot it?
Yeah, we shot it and it got away. Thing, burrowed through a toilet, believe it or not.
Through a toilet?
Through a toilet.
Man, we didn't find any Twinkies. I really thought we'd find Twinkies.
You don't even get snowballs. You don't deserve them.
Concession seems right at the end of my face. It's been picked over.
I didn't think but...
Now,
This thing's zombie land. We're not going to find a truck full of Twinkies just lying around.
Still could. It just might be in a really, really bizarre
I
outlet.
mean, anything is going to be somewhere that hasn't been checked, which is probably going to be behind that still locked security door that, yeah. Ashley and Rika found, but
It is something that will be interesting.
I believe Bress is going to get his rest. I think Wishen will join you. He's not gonna go rest right next to. He's gonna go rest with his wife, but he's also going to rest.
Yeah. He's going to join the people who are sleeping.
Yes.
The action of sleeping.
Oh, I'm having too much fun today. And then we'll hop over to the girls. As they've made it a very long way down this tunnel. It's not that they've actually made it that far, at least relative to the distance that they've made walking down the long tunnel before they had to start navigating through debris properly. It's just that it's taken them a long time because they can't just walk down a straight line. And eventually, as you're walking down this tunnel, like I said, probably about 20 minutes down, you start hearing a rhythmic tapping in the distance.
Ashley's going to stop for a second and try to focus in on the hear and see if she can discern where it's coming from.
Okay. It's definitely ahead of you.
She's kind of going to give she's going to give Rika a look of concern, look of caution, and kind of draw her laser pistol as she continues down.
Okay. Sorry?
I can't really use my rifle, so I guess I'm just playing on a knife.
I mean, you can. Why can't you?
I have a lantern in my hand.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. I assume in most games that you have, like, the leather piece of fabric you can put on a belt, but we are playing an apocalypse game. I guess you have to earn that. I can't give that to you.
I guess I just hang the lantern off the gun.
You can hand the lantern to the person with the one-handed pistol.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Then you use your weapon with two hands.
That'll work. Yeah.
Here you go, the lantern.
That there Stephen Fellow's a big brain boy.
Yes. Because one of you has a pistol that uses one hand, and he has a two-handed gun.
And somewhat echoing down this hallway, as you're like walking down it, you hear someone let out, "Child, the lights. Please dim it."
She's going to look at Rika again and be like, "Who are you?"
I'm one of the many, many inhabitants of this stadium. I've been sent down here as an envoy to speak to you. But many formulate inappropriate opinions if they see me before they speak to me.
Well, I can promise you've seen. I've already seen my fair share of crazy things in this world. I don't think much will startle me. It'll take quite a bit, in fact.
There's a few moments that are left in the air. Then you hear, "Remember, I warned you." And then like 3 meters away from you, you see a red flare get lit up. You hear whoosh, and you see some smoke just a little bit flying back behind what looks like this very large beetle-like chested man with just some sizably like thick legs, big beetle chest. You can see some very weak looking wings that are hiding underneath this carapace that's extended outwards, and you see a relatively looking normal like fairly pale skinned man, but like his lower jaw is crooked off to the side, kind of sticks out a little bit, and you see a few strings of hair that come off in different directions at various lengths off of its head.
Ashley will just stand there and stare for a good minute, and she will, before she goes, "Wow, I've heard of mutations changing people, but I've never seen it to this extent. This is fascinating."
I just kind of lower my gun a little bit. Sure, man, studying you.
We are not here to study each other. I am the first wave of many. I'm here to bring you into the light of the Falcon. I have been informed that Jerry has lost his head, and it has something to do with all of you. And that's why it's just me here right now. If everyone else was here, well, let's just say there's a lot of people that aren't happy with what you did.
Jerry,
Are you talking about the snake outside?
The camelback, yes.
oh, we did not know that it belonged to anybody.
What?
Sorry.
Why did you think it was outside the exit?
Thought it was simply making its home here.
Have you seen a camelback before?
We are from this land, sir.
Camelbacks come from down south. They don't venture up this far north. Not very easy to train. Lots of work. Lots of food. Food that was wasted.
Well, on behalf of the rest of the tribe, let me express my apologies. Had we known, we definitely would not have engaged with such aggression. If you'll follow us back, we have a leader who I think would take great delight in speaking with you.
Oh,
What?
I hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh,
You couldn't hear us?
I couldn't hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm back.
Want to try one more time, Will?
Yes. On behalf of my tribe, allow me to. On behalf of my people, let me express apologies on killing your friend. If you'd like to follow it back, yes, Pet. If you'd like to follow us, we have someone who would very much like to speak to you. He's kind of our de facto leader.
See, I have not been entirely transparent with you. And there seems to have been a misunderstanding that I would like to correct. You are in our home. We are going to bring you back to our leader. And then you see behind you another red light pop up from just around the corner, and you see two more mutants pop up behind you.
Oh boy. Well, when you venture too far from the group, I guess you read what you sow, huh, Rekka?
Yeah, you should. I had nothing to do with this. I just appeared and I'm like, oh shit, there's these guys.
Okay.
You're killing a snake.
Oh,
That was self-defense.
we won't fight back, but just I have to ask that you don't hurt us.
As long as you do nothing stupid, no harm will come to you. We will take you to our leader. We will see if the Falcon blesses you. And upon said blessing, we will return you to your people. We will then have an appropriate delegation to bring along. And we can speak peacefully. We just, as you can tell by some of your reactions, it normally helps if only a few people are brought in at a time. I'd have preferred one, but it just shrugs.
I understand.
Very well. Take us to this Falcon.
And
She'll holster her pistol back and just kind of take a couple of steps forward, ready for it to lead on.
Think that a bunch of bug mutants. She's gonna become a bug mutant.
I only described one as a bug mutant, but yes, some of them have bug-like features. There's one that looks that has like the tail and ears and legs of like a weasel, who's not wearing any shirt, but has like a very slapped together piece of like fabric. It looks like multiple shredded baskets that have been used for like lower body wear, and some like makeshift Crocs, more like flip-flops if anything. And it has these
Hail the Croc.
Crocs are the worst. Crocs are a symbol that you've given up in life. That's what you're advertising to people. I have given up. Don't show me any respect.
Hail the Croc.
And then you see another man who has some like corgi-like features. He has very small portions, like a white furred chest and like an orange furred back, a very like pudgy face, with proportionally large ears that point up.
Now we need someone with the mutated features of a Shiba Inu. We can say we now have a human Doge.
Nice. And as a note, the two of them that are behind you are both carrying broadswords.
Like the Lord Keeper's sword deal.
Yeah, they're big swords. They're probably more akin to like falchions, if anything. But they're big ass long swords. Is the point.
Actually, whereas
I guess the Lord Keeper's sword, because of the way you use it, it's more built to be usable for dexterity as well, so it's a more slender blade.
I will note that the mutant that has the corgi-like features, because they are proportionally smaller than everyone else here, that their sword is also smaller.
Yes, the corgi. Yeah.
Well, I got animalistic features, and I got really short, and I was like, just putting different animals together. I was like, I want it to be some kind of dog, and I was like, what's a short dog? Corgi was the first thing that came to mind.
I was like honest, I saw a photo a while ago. I was just kind of hoping that what that guy was. It was like a centaur, but the bottom is a corgi.
I love that. If you guys want like good anthropomorphic art for this kind of stuff for dogs, there is a cool, I don't remember the name, maybe it's called Pugmire. It's like a fantasy role-playing game, like a tabletop role-playing game that's supposed to be fantasy, and all of the characters you play as are different breeds of dogs. Those are the different races you have. So you could have like a corgi or like a pit bull or a Doberman or a Dalmatian, something like that.
Bearded mountain dog.
But yeah, as you've noticed, they aren't like just straight up anthropomorphic animals. They just have some animal-like features.
The Saint Bernard.
Okay.
And they start leading you through the debris, and if you pay attention close enough, you might be able to realize that while following this beetle person in front of you, you're actually making ground a lot faster than you were before.
Because he actually knows where he's going.
And you begin to realize after a few moments, as you're following this beetle, that rhythmic sound that you were hearing is just the sound of his outer carapace fluttering just a little bit.
It's pretty cool.
It's a tell. Probably not cool if you're trying to be sneaky like he was. Like one of those weird situations where you're trying to be sneaky but not too sneaky, because if you're too sneaky, that could be a problem, but if you're not sneaky enough, that could be a problem. I want to make sure you know who I am when I want you to know who I am. Yeah, and they lead you down through this lower stadium, and when you, after like another 10 minutes of travel, making your way through this debris, you begin to see like some neon lights, some blue and purple begin to like invade your view, and you see the beetle takes his flare and he just shoves it into one of the pieces of debris. It's still letting a little bit of light out, but now it's mostly blocked as he starts making his way towards these neon lights that are seeping in through the debris. Excuse me. As you guys make your way around the corner, you see the weasel mutant behind you. He puts his flare in as well. Actually, sorry, she puts her flare in. It can be hard to tell, but not in her case.
Corgi
didn't need a flare, only needed 2 flares. And feel free to hold on to your glow bug. I know it lasts a while. And you come around a few more bends, and the light's getting brighter and brighter until you get out to the opening of this stadium, and in front of you, you can see a portion of the lower ring of the stadium. You see immediately in front of you open track that is blocked off by what looks like multiple rows of chairs that have been stacked on top of each other, so you can't walk directly in there. But you can see past them, and you can see pieces of what look like the different terrain that the drones would fly around or through. And it's all lit up. Like you see a bunch of different hoops and railways that are all lit up with these neon lights of different colors, with purple and blue being the predominant source. And as you begin to walk towards this pile of debris, the beetle person in front of you takes a left to go up the stadium. See a little pathway you can follow him up. And as you go up it, you actually see like 3 other mutants that are sitting only like 5 or 6 chairs down, only a few rows up as you start walking up, and they're all looking down at the stadium entrance towards you, but once they see that like everyone's come through, they immediately just begin chatting amongst themselves, like pointing down at the stadium, whispering sweet nothings to each other. No, but talking amongst themselves. And you're actually walking up towards what looks like a collapsed portion of the upper floor for the stadiums. that looks like you'd be able to walk up. Not much lighting in the stadium itself, in like the bleachers themselves, because the stadium provides so much. But you do see like a row of like wires with light bulbs attached to them that lead like start very close to the collapsed debris and lead up the stairs, wrapped around like this just metal rebar that you could tell at one point used to belong to some of this concrete, because you see some of it sticking out. Basically just a makeshift place to wrap the lights up as you walk up. And you can hear the sounds of like a few people chattering up above as you get to the debris. And it's being partially blocked out by this like humming sound that you hear up there, which quickly as you get up to the top of this debris that you're walking up. And yeah, it's not like you need to climb, you don't need to give me any checks or anything, but you do have to walk up at like a funky angle, just because the incline, as you kind of scrabble your way up. And if you look back, you can see that the weasel lady is having to help the corgi get up. Tall person helps short person.
Corgi.
Of course. All I have to do is put something small with a wiggly butt that smiles, and you guys are happy.
Hey, it's a funny mention.
Just repeat what I just said. Yeah, and when you guys get up to the top of the debris, you can actually make sense of the sounds that you were hearing. You see 10 more mutants, a couple which are in the center of the space where you can see a bunch of these rows of seats have been taken out. And there is a large imprint that they're inside of. It looks like that claw mark I brought up earlier that Lord Keeper the Book saw. Once again, surrounded by this circle. They're at the center of it. This time it's made of a mix of blood, a little bit of blood, but a lot more of that yellowish green pigment I talked about earlier. And there's a few of them chanting in the center, like 3 of them, and then there's 7 people evenly spread around them, and they're all humming at various levels. And it's actually making it kind of hard to like focus. It's kind of an intrusive sound. You guys start walking past that, and you see the beetle man in front of you. As he turns away from it, he kind of leans his head back and just takes 4 of his fingers and kind of does an imprint, vaguely looking like that claw mark. As he mutters something before continuing on to this booth that you see only a few meters in front of you up a small set of stairs. Now, when we get up here, I just want you to be prepared. There are going to be some things that are said or aren't said, and you might not be happy about them. I promise, as long as you don't freak out, things will go smoothly.
Gahiji.
What?
What was that?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
That come from?
No idea.
Could be an ad on my end. It might be an ad. I do have some tabs open.
I
Just hear the word Tahiti.
Yeah. I know it wasn't me.
You guys start waking.
Mysterious timing too.
I know. It broke this like super serious moment. We were at a computerized device.
It's like someone using like Google Translate or something all of a sudden.
Okay.
You guys start making your way up the stairs after the beetle man looks back at you, and he gets to the top, and he knocks on the door a few times before opening it, and he walks in, leaving the door open for you.
We'll
I'll walk in after him.
Yeah, go in.
Okay. Yeah, you walk into the room, and you see a bunch of layers of red and white cloth that have been strewn across the floor, some of it hanging from the ceiling, and quite a bit of it on the back walls and the two side walls, with the glass to look through for the booth down onto the stadium being mostly unobscured, and you see dozens of candles that are all lit, as well as a fairly large chair. I'm going to call it a throne for now. I think throne is more appropriate. That's covered in multiple of these pieces of fabric that have been draped over it to make it look like it has its own gown. And sitting in it, you see a actually very beautiful young woman, probably no older than her like mid-20s, with long black hair, wearing a dark red dress, who you can't actually view until you're standing in front of the throne. As you're getting into the proper position behind the beetle, you hear the corgi like lean over towards the two of you, as you're like mimicking the beetle in front of you, who's kind of he's gotten down on both his knees and like rested down on his haunch, and the corgi kind of leans forward towards you as they're following suit and says, "Only address her as my queen or your highness." And the noteworthy thing about this woman I haven't brought up yet is the only reason you can claim that she's beautiful is because of her elegant shape, her gown, her hair, and the little bit of slightly tanned skin you can see down by her ankles and on her hands, one of which you see held up to her face like this with a white mask that's smiling. The only thing behind it you can see are these beautiful purple eyes. The beetle man in front of you speaks up, says, "My queen, we've brought the envoys from the other group. What you said is true. Jerry. Then he coughs. Jerry has been... And then he coughs again. You hear his voice come back. Jerry has been... Jerry's not here anymore. And he coughs once again, and you see her pull up from within one of her sleeves another mask. This one, and as a note, the reason I said that is because they're on like sticks. She's holding them up. This one is a black one with an unhappy looking face on it. And he coughs one more time. And you hear his voice come back to what you heard originally. He's not with us anymore. But the envoys have come, and I believe they're willing to cooperate with us. They didn't even put up a fight, fortunately. I explained as much as I normally do. I told them that we will see if the Falcon properly embraces them, and then take them back to their tribe. And then there's this very deep connection that you suddenly feel with the queen in front of you, as in all of your heads, like the two of you hear just this exquisite voice. It's not coming from anywhere, it's just in your head. Almost like a mental link you're sharing with this woman. And she says, I'm pleased with what you've done here, Riker. Thank you very much. Let me speak to our guest. You are? And you see her white mask go back up.
My name is Ashley Lennon, Your Highness.
Ashley.
And I'm Rika, Your Highness.
And Rika. Exquisite. No. Riker has told you very little of what he meant when he brought you here. I want to assure all of you that the process you're going to go through will be painless as long as you cooperate and you truly believe that you can make it through the process. Those that accept the pact always come through. So the question is not, will the pact harm you? The question is, will you accept the pact? As
Sorry, Your Highness.
you see the black mask come back up. If you look at all of the beautiful members around you, you can see that they have all accepted the pact. I'm not asking that all of your members do, only that you do. We need to see that members of your tribe are blessed by the Falcon. Specifically the Tal. If you're properly embraced, then you may leave. If not, then, well, there won't be anything more for you to fear.
Ashley will kind of glance over at Rika again, give her a little nod, whisper under her breath. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. She'll look up at the queen, go, I will accept your pact, Your Highness.
And I will accept your pact as well. Quite frankly, I've been eager to try this pact.
You see the white mask come up once again. Unfortunately, Rika, Ashley, it is not my pact. Well, I guess that depends on how you look at it. Personally, I'm feeling very fortunate that it's not mine. You must accept the pact provided to you not by me, but by our Lord, the Talion. Please, if you would follow Riker, he will take you down to the training grounds, and he will explain everything you need to do to properly accept the pact. I look forward to your journey.
I like that there's Riker and Rika.
Why do we keep on linking characters that like have similar names to other NPCs?
Oh, this time it's on purpose. This time it's up to me. This time I'm doing it. It's not the adventure path.
It's not Cressel and Keston and Creston.
This time it's 100% me.
Oh, this is awesome.
I wonder what they'd make of the Lord Keeper's mutations. This is out of character, just music.
We'll have to see.
It was bad as
Nobody else in the group knows anything about what's going on right now.
Because you
Yeah, we're just kind of just having a little trip.
While we're over here,
About to probably risk our lives going through something.
might be sacrificed.
You might even be out for your asleep now.
You might even be sacrificed.
Go home. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
That was good. That was good.
You're fired.
Oh.
Red card.
That was actually a good
No, red card.
a
Of
part
course,
of
my
my
soul just died.
sacrifice.
5-yard penalty.
Fourth down.
-5 points to Tara.
Yeah. Turns down 5 points. Score is -0, -5. Okay. With that, Riga says, "As you wish, my queen." And he gets up from his position, and he begins to walk out of the stadium.
We'll follow him.
Yeah, follow the job.
And as the three of you are leaving, you can hear the beginnings of a conversation. One that you only hear part of. You don't understand the context of it at this point, but you hear the weasel woman behind you begin to speak to the queen, referring to Jerry, and bringing up how she wouldn't have been able to actually do anything in that case. And that's the last thing you hear her say before you leave and start heading down the stairwell.
All right.
So I completely randomly rolled the mutations for the leader. She got the best stigma. She got the one where you're like extremely beautiful with one alteration.
Nice.
Her face is freaky, so she doesn't show it, hides behind the mask.
And she ended up getting mind speech as her benefit. She can just communicate with anyone she can see.
That really adds to the majesty effect. The majestic effect.
No wonder.
Yes.
I mean, that definitely explains why they would pick her as their leader.
Seemingly the most normal looking person here. Then again, you didn't see that much of her.
I know for our benefit.
Yeah. I tried looking up some art for her specific mutation, and it got weird. So I just stopped looking.
Because she doesn't just have mind speed. She's got something else going on.
Well, she had like her stigma and her flaw combined. Like you can try looking up for it, but you don't find much because it's not like some common drawing. And and the stuff you do find is like.
I'm curious what her flaw is.
But that is the thing with mutated creatures you find versus mutated creatures you have. Is there, or like mutated mutations you can get are different, you know? Because like there's a bunch of shit I can give mutants that aren't things you guys can get.
They can have powers we can't. They can have unique stuff.
Yeah, and the game even encourages it. Like if you have an idea for a mutation, just throw it in there, give it to them. But hers are stuff that is like the mind speech is something you guys can get. That one's a mental ability you can get.
Yeah, I honestly, I think the Lord Keeper would find this interesting because this is another collection. This is another group with a large collection of mutants with interesting abilities. It seems like theirs might not be the same sort as the Wasteland Knights.
I'm kind of digging the whole tribalistic vibe these guys got going.
As you come down the stairs and you start walking, back the way you came, that group that was over there is still doing whatever kind of ritual or song or whatever the fuck it is they're doing in the bleachers just below you. And Riker, as he's walking forward, starts speaking to you once again. He says, "It's a given name. You all get new names when you join the Pact. Nobody's forced to use them, but trust me, if you make it into the Pact, you'll want to. What they're doing over there right now, it's been going on for a few hours. It's in preparation." And he coughs once again. "It's in preparation for your entrance into the Pact. We're going to have you take a few simple steps to get you," then he coughs once again, "to get you in and prepared so that you may go inside to the arena and find the Talion. Any allergies we should know about?"
It's so incongruous with everything else.
Yeah, shellfish.
None for me.
I do not believe I have.
I was lucky enough to be allergy-free my whole life.
Any specific ailments we should worry about? Disabilities? Anything of the like?
Break having one hit point count.
I was I was told I was down with madness.
Okay, insanity. We can work with that. And then he coughs again. It's not something you need to worry about. It's just important for our preparations. And you guys are like getting to the point where you climb down the debris again, and he's like, give me one moment, just wait here. And you see him very quickly walk back to like the closest point where he would be to the group in the bleachers just below you guys. He says, we've got a 13. And you hear the humming stop for a few seconds. The 7 of them stop humming, and then the 3 of them look, and you can just barely see them from where you guys are. See the 3 of them look over at Riker, and Riker speaks up and he says, "Yeah, a 13. I'm not 100%." And he points down at him, and just the 3 of them like very just solemnly just nod. They look around almost in like unison at the different participants around them, who all start humming once again, and we see them return facing back down and start muttering whatever it is they are muttering. It's not a language either of you understand.
Yay!
And with that, Riker comes back to all both of you, and cuts past you and starts walking down the debris. Now, normally we use water, but in recent history that has been in short supply. We can't afford to spend it on members who are not of the first generation yet. So, if you wouldn't mind, we have substitutes. Nothing painful. In fact, some people say it tastes quite good. You don't need to consume all of it, but consume as much as you can. This is your first step in accepting the Pact. And with that, you guys like start walking up the other end of the bleachers opposite of the entrance you started coming down earlier. You go up like 3 rows, and you can see that there's a table like 6 chairs down that's been set up, and there are 2 mutants down there, both of which they're not even proper. It depends. Beastmen are technically different in this game. There are people that have specifically animal features that aren't mutants, that aren't mutations. Normally, that just means they're uplifted creatures or people whose DNA has been spliced, which is different than mutations, as counterintuitive as that might sound. But there are 2 fairly short, probably talking like 4.5 feet tall, that creatures that look almost exactly like fire ants, if they were anthropomorphized, I think is the right way to say that. But imagine their mandibles being a lot smaller than they would be if it was like proportionate. And they're both in these long red robes with very long, wide sleeves, and they have these elaborate pieces of fabric that go over their antennae and drape down behind them. And they're both standing on opposite ends of this table, next to these small like cereal bowls. And when Riker gets to this row, he walks past it, turns towards both of you, and says, he coughs once again, and if you head down that way, you can speak to the sisters. They will take you through the steps, and we will all gleefully be watching your initiation to see how long it will take you to accept the Pact.
All right. Well, we follow his instruction.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow it as well.
Okay. As you guys begin to walk off, you see Riker kind of lowers his head, not to a full bow, but he lowers his head and puts his hands together in this claw-like shape as he kind of follows you without looking as you walk down the row. Sorry, that voice kills my throat.
So it's accepting the Pact, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure, because sometimes it sounds like saying Pact, and so I'm just making sure I am here. And what do they have to be blessed by?
The Talon.
Talon. Okay.
Just making sure I was sure what was being said, because I thought it said a couple of different things, so I was just making sure I got it right.
No, I'm being consistent. I'll point out if there's a difference. It's probably just the voice I'm using.
Because at first I thought you were saying blessed by the Falcon.
No, there was a Falcon. There was a Falcon brought up. She did specify after that, though, it needed to be the Talon. So there's two parts to this. Three parts. There's a Talon with a Pact being there's a Talon that is the specified version of the Falcon, and then there's a Pact that you have to accept to be blessed by those. Blah. Words.
Okay. And the Lord
Keeper's voice kills my throat over a long period, too. You know, by the end of the session, I started coughing if he's talking a lot.
Yeah, with that, we'll see the girls walk down to the sisters. Yeah, and these two ladies, when you show up, one of them chimes up. I assume that like Ashley's on the right side, the farther end, and then Rika's closer to the inside, just based on how we've been talking. So the one closest to Ashley chimes up, and in like in a very low voice, one that like you definitely have to be paying attention to hear. You're not going to stumble upon this voice in like in a bar or something like that. You hear her say, in front of you is, well, normally the blessed concoction, which is normally made up of water, but currently we're having a bit of water shortage. We're rationing right now, so we'll be using a substitute. We've used a substitute before. It's nothing to worry about, but before you can drink from the blessed water, remember we're using a substitute that you need to vent any potential, well, let's just call them issues. That's the easiest way to put it. I'm really trying to simplify this whole thing, trying to mainstream it. Queen would appreciate it. When you're done with the Pact, if you could let her know that I did a good job, we would both appreciate it. And she gestures towards the other fire ant. Any issues you think you're going to have with the Pact, this is where you bring them up now. You need to get them out of your system if you have any. If you don't, that's okay too. Just let us know. And then you can drink.
I don't think I'll have any issues at all.
These guys feel like a combination between a cult and I don't know. They feel like a cult. That's what they feel like.
They feel like some like welcoming cult. Yeah, it's like I do not have any issues. I just am wholeheartedly ready.
And drink from the blessed water.
Well, time to shut this thing down.
Oh man,
I thought she was gonna be like, drink from the blessed water, and then like 3 seconds later, substitute.
Give me. Okay. No, I mean, it's good. You should be drinking this. This is very healthy for you. It's so healthy, I'm gonna give you a physical effect save.
Oh my god!
It tastes like this strange mix between like butter, oil, and acid, and it's all been watered down a teeny bit, and there's this faintest taste of like petals, like some plant fiber, specifically petals.
It had me say I'm worse at. Literally my worst save.
Okay. You feel like you're gonna like upchuck it as soon as you swallow your first bit. It's gonna be really hard to finish.
So you don't have to finish.
And it still tastes awful, John, but you're not having the same, like, Rika's not having the same reaction.
I'm just drinking like a baby.
Pressing the gag reflex.
And, Ashley, you see, the fire ant who's been speaking to you, she, like, reaches up towards your mug to help you finish it. Very gently.
Okay.
You gonna finish it?
Yeah.
Okay. I get another physical save?
Dun, dun.
Oh my god!
Okay.
I don't think you succeed.
Okay. We see Ashley as she like continues to try and drink this, even though you can tell she's internally she's not enjoying it. She downs it all. The woman next to you lets go of it when she sees the last drops fall onto your lips. You set the mug down, and then we see most of it come back up. And then we hear the woman next to you, Ashley, she goes, "This is not the best start we could have had."
Right, just looks at Ashley, just like, that's quite rude, Ashley.
You see the woman who's talking to you, Ashley, she puts her head down and starts looking down towards a couple of her little feelers that are rubbing nervously against each other. The next time we ask you to do something, we would appreciate it, both of us, if you would listen. And then she just stops. And you notice this whole time, since you've upchucked, that she's been looking everywhere but at you.
Oh, poor girl.
Ant lady.
Poor Ant lady and Ashley. Oh my god.
Now, at this point, while we have had one minor setback, this is not going to stop us from helping you accept the pact. At this point, we are going to take you down to the end of this row, for which we have a room you're going to enter. We have multiple stalls within it. We're going to have both of you strip. There will be clothes within the stalls, don't worry. Completely private. No problems there. You'll have clothes to put on. They're new. They're comfy. as long as you like loose clothes. Not too different from these, actually. Go grab those, put them on, and we will be waiting for you outside. And then she gestures down the row. And you see her sister do the same thing.
Are they actually sisters?
Just for
For the ages.
Well, I'm gonna go into the changing room.
Same.
Okay. Yeah. Inside, there are basically these white multi-layered robes that they have for you that are very loose-fitting, with some like undergarments. And so if you need like some very loose-fitting like briefs, or if you need some titty protectors, those are there too. That's what my oldest sibling used to call them when she first started wearing a training bra. Haley, if you're watching this, and I don't know why you would be, I'm sorry.
Hi, Haley.
Hello to Jacob's older sister.
She only said it once, but I'll never forget that.
Dun, dun.
Yeah, so there's some clothes for you guys to change into. And there's actually light in here. That's actually probably something noteworthy. There is light provided by multiple neon lights that alternate between red and white.
Well, time to call my titty protector.
Yeah, there's some comfy bras you guys can put on.
Yeah, go by.
There we go.
Guess we're gonna have to break soon, aren't we?
Yep. That we are. When you come out of the changing room, you see both of the ladies that just helped you drink the blessed water are waiting there with their backs turned, looking out towards this like proper track that surrounds the like weird jumble of course that you see in front of you. And they're standing on basically like a small pile of debris. Nowhere as tall as the stuff that was blocking your vision earlier. As you walk up to them, you can actually see a lot more of the stadium now, and you can see there's a huge portion of it on the northeastern end that is collapsed in on itself. And you see a few other spots where there are these large, like 3-foot wide cracks that go through the top of the stadium down to the lower parts, into the arena itself. And you can see at the center of the arena is a large section that is caved in, that you couldn't see before. You can still see some of it lit up, parts of it that are caved in that are lit up, which means something's still connected. Unless in the future they invented giant obelisk like the aliens did back in the day that can wirelessly transfer electricity. Who knows? Maybe they did that. Maybe we miniaturized it.
Construct additional pylons.
Yeah. Maybe Ancient Aliens was correct.
We got the Protoss here.
And we'll end with the four of you looking out at like this neon lit crushed stadium with a huge hole in the center.
Wonder if this is how that you planned for them to get mutated.
If you want complete and utter honesty, I rolled for a ruin and I put stuff together and it ended up just being a great way to do it. It was gonna happen eventually. I just kept looking for ways, and you guys coming to this stadium was a good way to do it.
Yeah, and then it just so happened that the two who were supposed to get mutated went off together to explore away from everybody else.
Very convenient. Fuck, I would have mutated the rest of you too. I would have thrown you guys in here. I would have thrown anyone in here who showed up. Technically, Breast can't get mutated, but he can still do with the stuff that is actually going to mutate them, since we all know that mutations don't just happen. And Lord Keeper can always get more mutations.
It's kind of hard to get more mutations, though. I believe it gets harder the more mutated you are.
Yeah. It depends on how it comes about. If it's via radiation, you just have to take enough radiation damage and then permanently lose a constitution, and you'll get mutated again. You can technically, like, I don't know what your constitution is, but you can technically get a lot more mutations.
He's got 13 constitution.
So hypothetically, while being alive, you could still get 12 more mutations.
Let's try to avoid that.
Yeah.
You take to the point that you're not even human anymore. In any regard, any sense of the word.
I will admit I did do one cheat when I made her mutations, because the first... Or no, I didn't. I thought I was going to cheat because I was rolling on the Stigmata. And I thought it was going to be... I forgot it's not on the Stigmata that the Abomination is, where you're more animal than human. That's a flaw. So I rolled it, I got the beauty, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to fluff this too. I don't want it to be a fucking animal you come up and talk to. And then it wasn't. I was like, okay, well, you know what? Everything lined up. That's great.
And then she wrote Abomination with it.
I thought she did, but she didn't. That's on the flaws, not on the Stigmata.
Okay.
I did end up rolling her stuff properly. But I have mutations set up for different people, but hers I've paid special attention to.
Yeah.
Because I knew at least for this place she's going to be important.
Yeah. Interesting. Also got some interesting information about them having water shortages.
I think you guys got a lot today. I'm interested to see what you'll do with it.
There'd actually be quests here. Help them get their water back on.
We went to seek shelter, we found an enclave.
You guys are only 4 sessions in, and I'm already having to come up with new names for 2 of you.
Assuming they choose to take the new names, they might not.
Everyone
apparently.
who accepts the Pact accepts their new name.
Yeah, that's part of why I think this seems like a cult.
Hey, why'd we got put labels on things?
We just changed now.
Yeah.
We're going to do it after kidnapping you that you threw up our special drink that we gave you.
That might have just been 50% stuff they got from the concession stand.
Yeah.
Butter? I heard that.
Oh, God.
God, you drank like popcorn butter, big
2 centuries old butter.
I don't care. I'm shutting you down.
And
How
I'm
do you guys
letting
feel
it out.
Agreeable.
I just
What
got
keeping the book is certainly... He's already very mutated. But that's actually a question, though. So with them getting mutated here, if that's what's happening,
Yeah.
are they going to suffer the mechanical consequences of having to get irradiated and lose their con points?
Well, radiation isn't the only way that you can get mutated. But if I do end up using some kind of source to mutate them that would have regular penalties, there is a potential for me to change it, because you guys did choose these at character creation. So I'm not just gonna smack you with a stick and say you deserve it.
Yeah.
How'd you
That
guys?
was a cool session.
How'd you guys feel about the pacing today? I tried speeding things a little bit.
It was
And
We got a bunch of
Really good. Yeah.
Nice, and there's so much more to do.
the Lord Keeper,
You know, the sad thing is the Lord Keeper's actually gonna feel bad about killing somebody's animal friend. Because they have a long tradition of animal friends.
I was literally using a random generator based on multiple ethnicities, and I was like, okay, pet's name, we'll just have it be one of these, and I just won't use the last name. And then it was like Jeffrey Relaka or some crap like that, and I was like, okay, Jeffrey, it's Jeffrey.
It's Jeffrey. I thought you were saying Jerry.
Oh, it was Jerry. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Jerry.
Okay. I was like, you were saying Jeffrey, and I misheard you. I'm sorry.
No, it was definitely Jerry.
Okay.
I remember because I was laughing. I was laughing about it when I rolled it because this is a place full of mutants, and I've recently been watching Rick and Morty, which has mutants in it all the time. And I heard Jerry, and I was like, ah! Snake died right away. What a Jerry move.
God damn it, Jerry.
Isn't there like a whole vault in Fallout that's full of like frags or something?
Full of what?
People like called frags because I think they got like cloned.
oh, it was Gary.
It was Gary.
That's what it was.
In Fallout 3, there was a bunch of clones of a guy named Gary. Full of Garys.
Maybe there's a bunch of camelbacks just being processed here.
Cloned. Alright.
And it was Jerry's.
It was fun. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
I'm going to head off, though. I need to get something to eat.
Have a good night, y'all.